lawyers.
Anime is pretty dangerous, not gonna lie.
Yeah, lawyers, those dangerous animal wall. Alright. Well, Ryan's alive. He almost died earlier.
Oh.
Yeah.
Bear attack?
A lot of snakes.
Snakes, possible gator attack. 5 snakes, 1 really loud growl. Well, I was like on top of like basically Everglade, I guess.
Wetlands. Scary shit.
Not the snake that we like, solid snake. Like actual reptile snakes.
I couldn't see Solid Snake, his camo index.
Yeah.
Ah.
Unless he was wearing the doctor outfit, then he would be harmless. Because he can't attack during that while he's wearing that. Anyway, hey. I hope we're at the end of this trial, but a lot has to fucking happen. We have 3 pages of evidence. And there's so many questions still. However, there is something I noticed. There is something I recalled earlier, and I checked the tapes on it, but I need to confirm it real quick. Oh yeah, that's right. Emma had run away. Okay. First things first.
Today.
Sure.
Go for it. You all can do the voices. I'm gonna sit back and chill.
So, okay. So if you recall back if you recall back in Turnabout Sisters, the first time you ever hear Lana is in that scenario, because Red White calls her at one point. So while I can't say exactly how that's gonna connect, we do have the screwdriver from that case.
Wait, Red White specifically calls the chief prosecutor?
Calls the chief prosecutor. And she is on the phone with him while you're in his office. And like, it's really minor and incidental at the time, right? But suddenly we have a stronger connection. We have 2 things that directly connect to that. Now, obviously, people just talk to each other and whatnot, but like, we also have the fucking screwdriver.
And also keep in mind, when Edgeworth does call Red White to the stand, he does say, "I have been assured that this man will provide the truth." Right? Like, and who's going to tell him that besides his boss?
Yeah. So, first things first. The SL9 incident files for the Joe Dark killings, solved 2 years ago. Okay. Sentence. Death. He was playing League of Legends. Victims. Edward Jones, Jason Knight, Edith Kirby, Rachel Moss, Jeb Bates, Neil Marshall. Ah. I see. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and guess that 4th detective that we saw that was on this case that also looked like a cowboy was Neil Marshall.
Yeah.
Head prosecutor Miles Edgeworth. Witnesses Lana Skye and Emma Skye. So that's why Emma ran away. She did not realize that the SL9 incident was this incident in particular. One that she was directly involved in.
A serial killer in work, apparently.
Investigation Task Force. Executive Investigators. Damon Gant and Lana Skye. Head Investigator Bruce Goodman. Investigators Jake Marshall and Angel Starr. Gives us a little bit to work with. This is probably the biggest one on here is Neil Marshall.
Yeah.
And obviously what Emma has to do with this. Seems like she might end up being key to this whole thing.
All we got for now, I guess.
Yeah, and I don't know if Damon was...
I believe they named him as Deputy Chief of Police at the time.
Yeah, he wasn't... I don't think he was in the position he was in now at the time.
Yeah, I believe it's a Deputy Chief of Police.
Okay. Video
is this
camera.
a new case or is it the still one?
Dude, it's the same one. Look at all this shit we have.
Why?
Dude,
I don't understand.
Dude, it's crazy. We even have a fucking videotape for one of the
Oh,
crime
God.
scenes. This is actually probably been one of my
Hurts.
favorite things.
Oh, it's wonderful.
This is really cool because like there's actually a lot you need to check.
And how you interact with it was really nice.
Yeah, literally
not
frame
make
by
it-
frame. You could push it forward and back, scrub it.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's like we had to figure out how he was able to open the locker if it wasn't the guy who died at the other crime scene. Goober here shows up. Look at the locker on the far left and the top.
Mm-hmm.
So you make note of that. Meekin's here, gets cut. Why would he have gotten cut if the guy had gotten in through if the guy in the coat had gotten in through the with a key card? Like and here's the tricky part though. Is presumably there was a body there. He's gone. And I guess you have to believe that he snuck through
And touches that locker.
and then look at the top
and then
left
touches
locker.
this locker. And
See the
there's no
cloth?
handprint there. Yeah, like
He wiped away. He worked quick.
like really fast.
Yeah. So it does hold here for 1, 2,
2,
3.
3.
You'd have to be
4.
pretty fucking. Yeah. There's.
That's quick.
That you gotta be
There's
quick,
time.
but
That's like 5-6 seconds, but you could do it. That's really fast.
could do it. Then we found this and had to piece this shit back together. What the fuck this is, we have no idea. Like, it's an open vase jar on both sides. It assumably has 3 handle points so that there would actually be one on the broken side too. Yeah. And then we have the fucking screwdriver from the second case in the game. Alright. Alright. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Honesty. Sorry, all yours.
That's all good.
Emma didn't come back. You're up, Brian.
Allow me to call the next witness to the stand. The officer in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime.
Well, Kyle, I know you said you're gonna sit back. You want to cowboy it up?
Oh,
Here.
I guess if you requested.
Witness, please state your name and occupation.
Jake McWomen'sRights.
Me, partner. Oh, I'm just a man, same as you, wandering the trails of civilization.
Occasionally helping the elderly cross intersections when needed. Yes, we get it.
I know. You're a patrolman.
Get sloshed right on the witness stand.
As for my name, if you listen hard enough, you can hear the howling wind calling it out.
To be exact, it's Jake Marshall, Your Honor.
Actually, Your Honor, it's Jake McWomen'sRights. Don't you forget it. Howling wind. I've never heard Edgeworth described that way before. It's actually, that'd be a
Nice.
pretty good epithet. Howling wind,
wind.
Edgeworth. Never heard Edgeworth described that way before.
Now, Mr. Marshall, let me ask you something. You were in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day the crime took place.
Just how many cowboys were in the showers at Ram Ranch?
Is this correct?
So, no, this is not correct. I believe...
According to the papers, partner.
No, I thought he wasn't. And that Meekins was. I believe Meekins said that he was put in charge because everything was getting swapped around that day. And that people that were normally at certain posts were not.
Right. He might have been different part of the day, though.
Let's see.
What do you mean?
A desperado's soul is as boundless as the desert sands. No paper can sum it up.
Wow.
Maybe it's best we get on with this quickly. Please share with us your testimony of the day of the crime. In plain old English.
My job was to keep a wary eye on that bone orchard.
What?
Bone orchard?
Oh, what?
orchard.
Does he mean like, is that another word for graveyard? In like he's referring to the evidence room as a graveyard?
Yeah, I guess.
This is a double metaphor?
He said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style.
Cowboys call it.
Besides, the room's protected by 2 security systems anyway. If I remember right, I was at a street side saloon at the time it went down. I'm just an innocent traveling man, so if you're out of ammo, it's time I hit the trail.
Somehow this guy's the most far out.
Yeah, he's pretty crazy.
Can't say I particularly care for your attitude.
That said, he's the one that was in that video. Like, we pretty much know for sure. And if it's not him, then this case is, I don't know.
I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining.
Oh shit. Wait a minute. What do you mean by 2 security systems?
I mean the security cameras and the ID card reader.
That's true. As well as the fact that... No, yeah, that's it.
I reckon even a cowpoke like you knows about those.
Yes, well, what about the fingerprint-activated locks on the evidence lockers? Okay, never mind. I was about to say, what about that? But I was thinking, like, well, it's just to get in there. The lockers didn't exactly matter for getting in and, like, recording people being there.
Fingerprint-activated locks? What kind of newfangled doohickeys are those?
Not being very helpful.
He's not that good with machines or with following orders.
Everyone's got their weaknesses down now, don't they, Mr. Prosecutor?
Here we go.
This one seems like trouble. Okay, Mr. Wright, he's all yours.
Get his ass. Permission to spank,
his
Your
pee-pee.
Honor?
Permission granted. He said he didn't like my beard.
My job was
What?
to keep a wary eye at the
Bone orchard? How exactly did you keep an eye on the evidence room?
I just made sure nothing moved into the security camera monitor. That room's so still. Even time dies in there. I was just a caretaker who interred the recordings.
Even time dies in there.
That is a heavy line.
You interred them?
Videos of nothing aren't that useful. When the time would come, I'd erase the tape.
If nothing unusual is recorded, tapes are to be erased every 6 hours.
Each time I'd erase a tape, it felt like I was erasing a part of my life.
My god! This guy has a flair for the dramatic, but it isn't going to do him any good. So, in actuality, you don't physically enter the evidence room? Said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. But you made your rounds on the day of the crime, right? You heard a word.
Ain't you heard a word I said, partner?
It don't work.
I told you that ain't my style.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
No desperado I know lets rules get in his way.
He's getting sloshed and doing cocaine.
No desperados I know joined the police force, yeah, and fucking himself on a cactus.
So, Officer Marshall, on the day of the crime...
Just between you and me, I didn't set foot in the evidence room that day.
I can literally prove that. I can literally prove that you did.
There was a rubber glove stuck in the victim's locker. Do you know anything about that?
Sorry, partner, can't say I do. I haven't been in that crypt in weeks.
Us cowboys, we don't wear rubbers. How does this guy avoid being fired? Okay. That one... Okay, so they said I was
Government
supposed
worker.
times a day, but that ain't my style. Besides, the room's protected by 2 security systems anyway. You used to be a detective, so you've used the evidence room in the past, correct?
Of course, back in the day, my locker was a gold mine of evidence.
And yet you didn't know about the fingerprint locking mechanism?
Sorry, partner, I ain't good with machines. I couldn't even tell you how a bike works.
That's quite, incredible?
Sensors on the locker handles cannot be seen. It's well known that some detectives are unaware of their presence.
It's well known.
Now that he mentions it, Detective Gumshoe
Well
said
known
something
that-
like that too.
They're fucking idiots.
Not just Kangaroo Court, Kangaroo World, Clown
At any
World.
rate,
The whole kangaroo world.
it doesn't seem that this is relevant to the crime.
It doesn't make a bit of difference.
It
Shit.
does not make.
Shit,
Can you
right.
tell us what you were doing when the crime took place?
Oh, we'll have to find a Vegeta Piccolo voice for someone.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Shit.
For sure.
If I remember
I
right.
remember
Yeah, let me just get it when it's in the green. If I remember right, I was at the street side saloon at the time it went down. What the fuck does that mean?
Hello?
What were you doing in a place like that?
I was eating spaghetti.
I hate.
Because it's a western.
Not
Right.
even Angel's
Oh.
steak lunches can beat that Parley's Vongola sepia pasta.
Do you mean to tell us you abandoned your police duties to eat some noodles?
That's right.
Yes, sir.
What if it's his lunch break though? He can't eat lunch.
Not all desperados eat tacos, partner.
Okay.
That's not what I meant. I hope this has at least taught you a lesson.
I have an alibi.
That's strange. This is usually where Edgeworth says, "Did you not want to raise this year?" Just an innocent traveling man, so if you're out of ammo, it's time I hit the trail. I'm gonna go walk into some traffic. Out of ammo, Officer Marshall? Haha, you know, like that dang and rompa.
Like that, dang it.
That's right,
Ah,
partner.
dang it,
or as
Rompa.
you call it, evidence.
Bitch.
If you plan to pin me to this crime, then you better draw.
Okay.
Otherwise, you're just wasting my time.
Okay.
My steel horse is waiting to carry me back west into the sunset. Whole horse!
What kids call it? Dang it, dang it, Grandpa. One thing seems clear. Despite being responsible for guarding the evidence room, the witness doesn't appear to have seen anything.
Texas don't take orders from anyone. Everyone knows that.
Apparently your superiors don't. Okay, I have a trump card up my sleeve, so I best keep my cool. Before I use it, though, I'd better up the ante. Oh boy, alright, what do we got? Everything. Alright, none from the first page. No, no, no.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Still don't know.
Still don't know. No.
Not
Eventually. No. No. No.
Firm rubber glove.
Well, I really
Is
only
this a
have
glove
this.
in this case.
Yeah, we already used it.
Hilarious.
We already used it though. It was
How many OJ jokes did you make?
not that many actually. We really only have this. Well, this is the one where he's challenging me. So, I think, yeah, unless there's something that we
Well,
can
also-
lead into the bloody handprint.
I think the issue with the bloody handprint right now might be that we don't know when that was. Like, I might be thinking too far ahead.
Well, let's see. We also have he said he didn't go in there at any point, right?
Right.
So we could potentially present this and be like, okay, hey, what's your ID number? Which would make sense to do.
Yo, at 4:20 p.m.
I know with the
Yeah,
7/7s.
It's a good time.
Okay, was it this one? And my style. I'm afraid no desperado. I know those rules get in my way. You mean I didn't set foot in that evidence room that day? There's a rubber glove stuck in the victim's locker. Do you know anything about that? Sorry, partner, I cannot say I do. I haven't been in that crypt in weeks. Okay, well, let's... I don't know, like, we're looking for contradiction, so maybe it's gonna be the glove, but just in case... No, okay.
Get out of here with that.
Okay, alright.
Yeah, that shit.
Well, I guess it's time for the bloody hand. Time for the bloody hand.
Why did Phoenix lie to us?
I don't know, but he didn't. He said we have a trump
Objection.
card, and that is the trump card. But he did say we need to up the ante first.
We need to up. Right, he said.
Anyway,
before
here's
I
my
use
trump
that-
card.
Yeah.
Officer Marshall, doesn't it strike you as odd? That is, you being called in to testify like this. After all, you weren't in the security room at the time of the crime.
And yet you dragged me down here? Explain yourself, partner.
Quite simple. You left a very large trail behind at the scene. Or to be exact, a handprint.
Listen real good, partner. Like I said, I'm not the caretaker of that crypt.
No, I am the caretaker of that crypt.
I'm the caretaker.
It's okay. It's alright.
I'm a cowboy. We don't know how to read.
I'm so drunk right now. Hoo-wee.
I pay my respects. That is, make my rounds about once a month.
Once a month.
It's only natural my fingerprints would be in there.
Okay, but why were they bloody? Did you even need to object there? I only wish it were, officer. But you see, your fingerprints were covered in blood.
Witness, what's the meaning of this? Your blood-stained fingerprints were at the crime scene?
The blood was wiped away. However, a luminol test clearly reveals this. Well, Officer Marshall? He's just gonna throw the knife at him.
It seems to me there ain't a person in this room with a head on his shoulders.
I take it you have an explanation then, Officer Marshall.
About the blood-stained fingerprints?
That was Edgewood, but that's fine.
Sorry.
It's
Very well.
it's
That
hard
was
to
You may
messing me up.
begin your testimony about your fingerprints. Found at the scene of the crime.
at the crime of the scene.
At the crime of the scene.
All right, bloodstained fingerprints. So we have to keep in mind there is also the bloody cactus.
Right, we don't have like a piece of evidence for that.
No, but we need to keep it in mind still, I imagine, because
Yeah,
there was fucking blood on it. Unless he's about to say he cut his hand on a cactus.
Right.
All right, you're up, Cop.
Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in that evidence room. One of them just happened to be at the same place as the blood-stained handprint.
Unlikely.
Murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance.
Yeah, like
Whoa! What are you saying? Look what he's saying here. The murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance, but that's not. The murderer's body was the murderer in this case is Meekins, right?
right. Well, I guess one thing
He's
to keep in mind
slipping
is-
up.
Right, like the evidence we are presenting is the blood stain had no prints, and then there were prints next to the blood stain. So that is kind of odd, right?
Right.
So
no.
his point makes a little bit of sense. It's like, look, a bloody glove hit a place where near one of my like on my locker. Obviously, I have prints in my locker.
Right.
But yeah, he's pointing out that
Yeah, but it lined up too well. But yeah, I get what he's saying.
yeah.
However, this line does not.
Yeah, he's yeah.
The murderer touched the locker, and it's like, well, the murderer was lying on the floor, and in the video, the murderer, quote unquote, was lying on the floor, and we never saw that, right?
Right.
So that might actually be the trick here.
Mhm.
I can
Yeah, we
remember-
point out the video that Meekins did not touch the locker.
Yeah. Yeah.
The bloodstain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. Or didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves?
Meekins wasn't wearing gloves. Unless we've established a new murderer?
See? I had nothing to do with it.
The witness's explanation appears valid, although there's room for doubt.
Life wouldn't be fun without any doubt, partner.
The defense may now
Oh, I'm sorry,
cross-examine the witness.
It's hiding something. I can feel it. Now's my chance to prove it. All right. I'm gonna reread through it real quick. Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be on that evidence in that evidence room. One of them just happened to be at the same place as the bloodstained handprint.
Possible.
The murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance. I'm gonna try and just I don't know if I want to like latch onto this.
I think you are right. I think the assumption is Meekins at this point, or at least that's how this trial has been set up.
Yeah, like alternatively, we just have to point out in the video, there's something that clearly touched the locker at the time of
the fight. Yeah.
The time at the end of the fight, and clearly that it was not Meekins who touched it. It could not have been Meekins because he was on the ground.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, one of them just happened to be at the same place as the bloodstained handprint.
Again, possible.
The murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance. Okay, but also, why would he touch it? By chance, he just walked by it and I don't. The bloodstain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. And didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? Yeah, it's also like, what are you talking about here? Here, sorry, I actually really need to use the bathroom, so I'll be right back real quick.
Well, you see, my fingers are bloody because I was fingerprint.
I'll try out my martial. Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in the evidence room.
Okay, I like it. Where's Oreo Taku when you need him? He needs to be the judge of this.
Tommy's Gant was pretty good last night.
Thank you.
Broke out the top of the morning to you.
Yeah.
Bailiff whack his pee-pee.
What?
I said
Bailiff whack his pee-pee?
Bailiff whack his pee-pee.
All right, just saw while I was gone.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Turns out it was Edgeworth.
Oh, okay. That bastard. That's because you... How did you put it? Pay your respects once a month?
Yeah, that's right. That and one more thing. That locker happens to be mine.
Okay.
The judge's face every time.
What do you mean?
Well, yeah, sorry.
That's all right.
I mean what I said. That's the locker I used when I was a detective. The locker I still use. All that's in there now, though, is a heap of broken dreams.
I see.
It'd be strange if my prints weren't all over that locker.
Apparently, his fingerprint data was never removed from that locker's programming. He must have been using the fingerprint lock all this time without ever knowing it. It was updated. Okay. It was just updated so that now we know it's precisely his locker. One of them happened to be at the same place as the bloodstain. Okay. Right, like, also, why would it match up so perfectly? And it's, well, it's because that's all, when you were in high school, middle school, did you close your locker the same way every time?
No.
Probably.
Probably.
I'm gonna go with probably. You don't even realize it, but...
Yeah.
Like, you probably closed it the same way almost every time.
Wasn't mine. It's no mystery.
Please explain.
My locker is covered with my fingerprints. It just so happened.
Okay. Murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance. So this is also... Here's the real fishy part. The chances of that happening are 1,000,000 to 1.
On the contrary, one could argue just the opposite. The chances of that not happening are 1,000,000 to 1.
Okay.
This guy is something else. Get one thing straight, partner.
It's crazy.
You ain't gonna get no reward from me with a mere fingerprint. Wanna know why?
This is what confidence it looks like.
Or delusion.
Bit of both.
Unrelated?
They're as different as night and day. Kinda like cereal and cereal.
Okay.
I like how you said the serial killer one happier.
One's got to do with breakfast while the other's a type of murder.
Type of murder.
Don't tell anyone I said this,
right.
but
Although seemingly alike, they're totally different.
the judge has the best job, really. He learns so much every day.
Oh, I see.
I don't see what homonyms have to do with this.
The judge used to be like a Mr. Rogers type kid show host. That's why he has these mannerisms.
Didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? What are you fucking talking about? How do you know that?
I may be a loner, but I still do my job. I keep up on the reports.
Meekins wasn't wearing gloves.
There was a blood stain at the scene, though thought to be left by the murderer.
Did we clear Meekins?
I don't think so. I don't think people think he's guilty, though. He seems to be the only one who thinks he's guilty.
Yeah.
No one has accused Meekins of anything, I don't think.
That's right. It was found on Detective Gumshoe's locker.
However, no fingerprints were detected on that handprint.
Oh yeah. I think we tried that too.
So that would mean the murderer, wearing gloves, happened to place their hand on top of Officer Marshall's fingerprint.
Okay.
That's the only logical conclusion. Are you starting to get the picture, partner?
Picture.
This seal of blood in the desert. It's just food for the buzzards.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
There's only one reality, and that's this.
Oh, buddy, don't dig yourself your own grave. Security tape.
So long as my trail isn't in there, you can't say otherwise.
Well,
We can.
it is.
It is. This isn't getting us anywhere, Mr. Wright. Please consider carefully where you're going with this cross-examination.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now then, continue your testimony, Officer Marshall.
All right. So I guess we just present the video.
Well, I was gonna say, we don't...
Okay,
he's
never
saying
mind.
Well,
Why
he's
can't
saying
I
there
not
is
present?
What weird. We don't have any reason to believe that's... All we know is that the walker gets opened at the end.
Well, let's press him again. What do you mean by that?
You want to tie me to this crime, isn't that right, partner? If so, that video is the only direct evidence you have.
The video is next to useless. It's full of blind spots.
Blind spots?
Places you can't see.
Oh, you mean like this whole courtroom?
Yeah. The camera's panning back and forth. The floor isn't shown. Let's get to it. Someone was familiar with the camera's position.
Okay.
They could leave the room without being caught on tape. Good point. We don't have time for your speculation.
Time for your speculations, Mr. Wright.
Well, Mr. Wright, if you can show us evidence in this video that indicates...
Fuck this game. just extra steps to get what I was already doing. Get to what I already wanted to do.
Officer Marshall was present. Please do so now.
Very well. Allow me to point out your mistake, Officer Marshall.
Tread carefully, Mr. Wright, or you might wind up being the one making the mistake.
Now then, let's
I'll
have
point it
another
out.
look at that video.
Show you right with his fingers.
Show us the incriminating evidence of the witness, Officer Jake.
It loves cutting it off.
That was the longest it gave us that time.
Yeah, that's true.
Obviously, it's right at the end, yeah.
Fucking hopefully. Hopefully it's not looking for some other bullshit.
I think we're just clicking on the locker.
I think we just have to click on the locker. Ooh, ooh. Goes against the wall, hides behind the badger. Pause. Bringing our attention back to the security camera is a mistake I'm afraid you'll soon not forget, Officer Marshall.
The days are short in Texas, and so are our tempers. Could you sum up what you have to say in 8 words or less?
You used your own locker. Very well. You can clearly be seen in this video. Excellent work, Phoenix. Used them all.
Exactly 8 words. Not bad, partner.
The key lies in a certain locker shown in the video. That locker with the white cloth sticking out. That was the witnesses, I believe. Now then, let's rewind the video a bit. Uh-huh.
It's going backwards, but it doesn't look like it is.
It really doesn't. Behold!
Oh, the white cloth. It's gone. What's the meaning of this, Officer Marshall?
When the crime took place, the white cloth wasn't there. Then it suddenly appeared. There's only one explanation. Officer Marshall, you were in the evidence room at the time of the crime. What's more, you opened your locker when the camera was turned away.
Order, order. It would seem.
Hold your horses. Sorry, partner, but you got the wrong man. So what if my locker was opened? That doesn't mean I'm the one who opened it.
You fucking idiot.
You.
Edgeworth's like, ugh. Oh boy.
The murderer needed to hide something, so he opened the locker and stuck it in. It's not my fault he happened to choose mine.
Are you stupid? I think
just
even the
told us that
judge understands that that's complete horseshit.
He's also saying there's something in that locker we have to go back and investigate, Alex. This case ain't over.
Oh boy. Oh my
Why
god.
is everyone staring at me like I'm a wanted man?
I'm glad everyone realizes he's a fucking idiot. This guy isn't just playing dumb. He really doesn't know. I hate to rain on your parade, but you're the only person who can open that particular locker.
Oh yeah? I call your bluff. Say I opened that locker? Now prove it.
I think I just...
anything that says locker.
I think I just...
Yeah.
Fingerprint sensor?
What's he holding?
This L.
Jerky?
Jerky? This L, yeah.
What? Oh, his hell.
This L. We talked about this earlier today, dumbass. The lockers can only be opened by the detectives they belong to.
What kind of crazy talk is this?
Well, Detective Gumshoe did mention something about this. This guy's dumber than Larry. In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There are even some people on the force that don't know about the fingerprint locks. Can't imagine being that dumb. Couldn't be me. So, Sheriff, what do you have to say in 8 words or less?
I only got one word for you, partner.
No!
He just took the cyanide pill.
Dude, he was powering up.
Order, order, order. Witness, explain yourself.
If this is a joke, it's the worst I've ever heard.
I assure you this is no joke, Officer Marshall. Now then, please tell us what you were doing in the evidence room at the time of the crime. Ole!
Please answer the question.
Bailiff, I would like to exchange my gavel for a whip.
Sorry,
Bailiff, whip his pee-pee. What is he now, a bullfighter? That's alright, Officer Marshall. I believe we can figure out the rest. I believe we can figure out the rest from here.
We can?
Shut up, Judge.
We can.
Judge, fucking shut up. Have a look at these floor plans. Okay, now we're gonna point out how he escaped. There was no place for someone to hide in the evidence room. Yet Officer Meekins didn't see Officer Marshall.
If that's so, then where was the witness?
Seems Mr. Wright has an answer.
That's right. The only possible conclusion...
Well, then let's hear it. He interrupted you? Where was... Oh, yeah,
God, this throws me off too, because it's like... We're still listing him as the victim.
Right.
Meh. Officer Marshall was standing right here.
But that's...
You people are so slow.
That's proof the victim Detective Goodman was.
Oh, no. Correct. Unless the man wasn't Detective Goodman. I believe the victim in this video is Officer Marshall.
What naughty?
It was you, dressed up like Detective Goodman.
That's preposterous. Officer Meekins witnessed the detective at the crime scene.
Yeah, well, he already said that he has no idea.
Once he saw that man's face, he'd know for sure.
He just said, he literally said he didn't look the dude in the eye because he's bad at looking at people's faces. May I point out, though, that Officer Meekins did not know Detective Goodman. He also testified about the man's reaction when confronted. When I entered the evidence room, I asked him to show his card, sir. Yes, and how did Detective Goodman respond? He suddenly pulled out a knife on me! Something about the officer's story puzzled me. If the man had his ID card, why didn't he just show it? Gotta love the had. Very impressive English.
Had, yeah.
The had.
He had his.
Why didn't he just show it?
Yes, he wouldn't have needed it to enter the evidence room, so he must have been carrying it.
The answer is simple. He couldn't show it. As you can see, Detective Goodman's picture is on his ID card.
Oh, I get it.
Do you? If he showed that, his cover would have been blown. Officer Meekins would have realized the man wasn't Detective Goodman. Do you have anything to say to this? That's Officer Marshall?
You've got quite an imagination, partner. We got a term for that. It's called circumstantial evidence.
Wow, very good. Very big word, Marshall. Circumstantial evidence? He's still denying it.
You're gonna have to do better than that to break a detective. Unless you have hard evidence proving I dressed up as the victim.
I can't say I particularly care for your uncooperative disposition.
You are acting a little sus.
I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining.
Bailiff!
You said this twice now.
Bailiff!
Sick the bull on him.
Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any evidence proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that Officer Marshall dressed up as the victim?
Well, who am I kidding? I don't have anything like that.
I can see the fear in your eyes, partner. Seems you're the one who couldn't take the desert heat.
This can't be happening. It's so obvious he's the one. What can I do? Edgeworth. Edgeworth, my man. Brother. Gay lover.
I do like the idea of the scenario of...
What's up? Edgeworth's about to play his...
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I do love the idea of the scenario that Marshall here goes, I need to dress up like Goodman, implying that he has a distinctive look, like, because these are, like, cartoon characters,
Exactly,
right?
yeah.
But knows this disguise isn't gonna get him far. Like, the second it's brought into question, he bails on it.
Yeah.
Why did he bother dressing up?
Well, clearly it's been working somewhat so far. Because, well, the whole point was so that they can have two murders at the same time, remember? Sure. It's all for the setup. It's all for the setup.
Okay.
Gotta remember.
Fair enough.
He just needed to put Goodman there. He didn't have to do it well. He just had to do it.
Right, okay.
It looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed.
How many times have I beaten your ass? Not the way you like it either.
I'll pass on to you what someone told me when I was just starting out. When you've run into a wall with no place to go, return to the basics.
I'll tell you what was Bear told to me. You gotta go out there and be all loose and tight at the same time.
Basics.
It's all in the hips.
It's all been the basics. We haven't been with the complexes at all. For me, that would be what Mia used to tell me. Phoenix. Try thinking outside of the box. See, that's the complexes. I shouldn't look for proof that Officer Marshall was in disguise, but rather I should look for evidence that that came about because he was in disguise.
Why do you think this locker was opened in the first place?
What do you mean?
There's no reason for Officer Marshall to open his locker at the time of the crime. Yet he did, despite the chance it might be discovered later as it has been.
Well, I imagine this is just complications because of Meekins.
Yeah.
Like, Meekins probably got a hit on him.
He did something.
Which means he didn't originally plan to open his locker.
According to the defense's argument, Officer Jake Marshall dressed up as Detective Goodman at the time of the crime. Then, after the crime was committed, he opened his own locker for some unknown reason.
The fact that a white cloth is sticking out of the locker seems to indicate that. He opened it in order to put the cloth inside.
So, just what exactly is this piece of cloth?
Perhaps the video is the key to all our unanswered questions.
Check the tapes.
I don't have any evidence, so this video is my only shot. You know, this massive piece of evidence. Don't have it. Bap.
Very well, let's take yet another look at the security tape.
Okay.
After committing the crime, the witness opened the locker to put away the white cloth. Please show us why the witness had to open his locker. Something's gonna get torn on this guy's outfit, I guess.
We gotta look at the fight, I guess.
Yeah.
Because whatever this is, we didn't catch it.
Okay, so he's got a glove on, a belt, the overcoat.
It may be a glove. It is a DS polygonal model, so... Yeah, well, no, we know he has gloves on. That's true, that's true.
It's been heavily implied that there's been gloves
it's
involved.
just that, like, glancing at it here...
Yeah, he's got a hat, and he does have a scarf. We have seen, like, this distinct polka dotted scarf.
Yeah, we can even we can even just do this.
What fell out? Wait, what fell out?
That's the glove.
Yeah.
That's the glove.
that's the glove.
It might be the glove, but we found the glove at the crime scene.
Yeah, that is, yeah. Already knew that.
And he's got a lot of white on him.
It'll be a little funny if his muffler also goes missing, is my point, right?
Yeah, and unless it's the other glove, but I think they would know. I think they would have.
Right.
It's not in the shape of the glove.
Right.
Okay.
So in theory, he gets the knife here. Or a knife, or something.
Well, if it's Marshall, he just has a knife on him.
Right. But I'm saying he's getting the SL9 knife evidence, is what this guy's grabbing. Right.
Yes, that somehow gets to the scene of the crime in roughly 3 seconds.
Yeah. But we'll see.
We'll see. Okay.
Cut Meekins.
God, look at
Cross
his
the
face. Look at Meekins' face. The man feels no pain.
hand. Alright. Blood on the jacket.
The blood will be on the jacket now.
Ooh. Goes in and kills Meekins. Meekins is dead now.
You know what? It's the coat. It just I think it's the whole coat.
Okay. I think it's the whole coat, yeah.
So let's just in case. No, we're not gonna get anything from that. I don't think.
So he's crawling on the floor.
Or he went behind. He went behind the.
Okay.
He went behind the thing. There wouldn't have been that other blood print.
This song is so funny.
I know.
Like, this is a killing move. Like, the thrust he makes on Meekins here, I don't understand how he's alive.
I don't know how he's not fucking dead.
This isn't a knockout attack. This is he
Look
thrusts
at
the
Meekins.
dagger.
Meekins is a
Look at
fucking
Meekins'
machine.
fucking face. He's a brick fucking house.
Dude's like 8 feet tall, all power. For some reason, you disguised yourself as Detective Goodman and entered the evidence room, though I don't know to what end yet.
Yeah.
Yee.
However, something unexpected happened. Officer Meekins
Fucked
barged
him
in
up.
on you. When asked to show your ID card, you pulled a knife out on him. However, Officer Meekins panicked, and the white coat you were wearing was soiled with blood.
A bloody white coat.
Never wear white if you're going to commit a crime. You couldn't just walk out like that. So you hid the coat in your locker. I mean, you didn't have a lot of time, so that's why it's hanging out.
Not bad, partner.
Oh, is Mr. Cowboy on trial right now?
Yeah. Yeah, and we're getting his ass because he
Well done, Officer Marshall. He's involved in this case.
he was the plant. He was part of the setup to make it look like a double crime, 2 crimes at the same time, or
The only
rather,
plant here is my cactus.
with my ass blood all over it.
Are you ready to tell us the truth?
No.
Looks like I underestimated y'all. I hope you're happy now, Mr. Edgeworth.
The truth. Is that
Oh,
your
I'm
hair?
thrilled.
Yeah, seriously, I would like to know. Please testify for the court.
2 years ago. If you were only half as persistent then as you are today, we all wouldn't have to be here now would we?
What? What? Tell the court what you did. All of it.
Alright. It seems the time has come.
Oh boy.
Oh, bye.
Oh boy.
I had to do it that day. I couldn't just stand by and let it die. I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I planned to take out the evidence. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out.
It was the dull side of the knife. The old trick. Just hit him with the dull side of the blade.
Ah, the old dull side of the blade.
And managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught by on the camera. There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15.
So, the supposed victim was really you.
But there's one thing I still don't understand. Traces of a large quantity of blood were found on the floor of the evidence room.
Yeah, Meekins is just a bleeder.
No one was murdered, then how could that be?
Dude, you saw the size of him. God, imagine how much blood is just in his jaw and chin, dude.
Is it like that Quagmire proportions?
Disadvantage. Yeah.
Officer
yeah.
Meekins managed to cut his own hand. My guess is he's the donor.
It's way too much blood for such a small donation. Very impressive. All right. Okay. Had to do it that day. I couldn't just stand by and let it die.
Had to do it. I had to kill.
When you say it, you mean... You even have to ask, partner. The SL9 incident.
2 years have passed since that case was closed. It was going to completely end with the transferal that day.
Not if I have anything to do with it. That incident's not over.
But what did you hope to accomplish by sneaking into the evidence room?
When a case is closed, only that lead's lead detective can look through the evidence. I wanted to have a look at it myself one more time. matter what the cost. I don't care what anyone says, partner. That case is mine.
But Officer Marshall wasn't in charge of that investigation. Why does he care so much about it?
And Meekins did say he used his octopus technique.
His octopus
which was,
technique.
Him shooting his blood everywhere, like his octopus.
That day was my last chance. That's why
I
Oh, you were a
thought
Gap
it was
gun.
a gift gun.
Why did you disguise yourselves as Detective Goodman?
if I didn't make it look like Goodman was carrying out the evidence transferal, I'd be arrested for stealing evidence, which wouldn't get me anywhere.
You don't say.
So you did it to fool the security camera.
And the detective's ID card?
I stole that the morning of the incident.
Well, that should
Sloshed
too.
up again.
So that really was why Goodman started filling out that lost item report.
I returned his ID card. I left it on the floor in the prosecutor's office parking lot.
Alright. The ID card I found was left there by Officer Marshall.
So essentially, you managed to succeed despite your lack of foresight.
What do you mean, partner?
I mean the fingerprint, activated lock, of course. No matter how well you disguise yourself, you can't change your fingerprints. Ooh, under normal circumstances, you wouldn't have been able to open that locker yourself.
True. But he could because a rubber glove just happened to get stuck in the door. That means Detective Goodman must have opened the locker before Officer Marshall.
Huh.
Yeah, more like you fucking pulled a knife on him. Pulled a knife on Officer Meekins and tried to drive him off?
Let's just say I was a little surprised. I only planned on being in the evidence room for no more than 5 minutes. I didn't think anyone would actually come in during that short time.
Officer Meekins certainly is a 1 in a million type of person.
It's true.
Mistaking a detective for an intruder and demanding to show his ID.
To think a little bit, I'll have to think a little bit more about his raise this year.
Like,
When did
It is
Edgeworth get
kind
so much influence?
it is kind of insane. Why did Meekins... In theory, that could have just been Goodman. Like, why was Meekins so afraid?
Anyway, he threw himself
True.
at me, and I ended up cutting him slightly.
Yeah, slightly.
I'm sorry it had to turn out that way. With me knocking him out and everything.
By the way, what happened to your knife? Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
you mean this one?
yeah, yeah. I don't know what to say.
So you knocked Officer Meekins out and...
Managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught in the camera. Can you tell us the exact route? So you did your research beforehand. Those who get into the desert unprepared don't live long. Sorry, don't live long, partner.
I didn't think it would make a difference, though. The security tape is erased every 6 hours. If all had gone as planned, no footage would have been left.
However, you bloodied your coat in the struggle with Officer Meekins.
If someone was in the security room when I came out, the jig would have been up. I opened my locker and stashed it in there.
What was Officer Meekins doing during that time?
What else? He was sleeping like a baby.
So what you're saying is, on that day...
Ano Toki.
That would be that time. On Ohiwa would
Close
be
enough.
that day.
Close enough.
Just so you know. But the blood found at the scene certainly indicates a crime took place.
What are you, blind?
Yeah, that is kind of funny that
Are you blind?
when you press on this one.
The victim shown on that tape is me, and I'm not dead yet, partner.
You stole the evidence from the locker.
Actually, no, I didn't.
He's already gone.
Why not?
When I opened the locker, the evidence was already gone.
What? Mr. Edgeworth, where is that evidence?
Fuck if I know.
It's still missing, Your Honor.
No, it's right here. It's the knife. Goodman's locker was
some
already
of it, in theory. Yeah.
Someone else stole the evidence. Officer Marshall,
Slam desk.
may I ask you one thing?
Fire away, partner. It's a free country. Just remember, I'm also free to decide whether or not to answer.
Why did you do this? Stealing a detective's ID? Injuring a police officer? This is no small offense.
Moreover, you're an officer yourself. This will have serious consequences. It can't just be forgiven with a simple cut in salary.
Not that salary cuts are ever a valid solution.
Like I said, this isn't your case. This one is mine. And I'll do anything it takes to get an answer I'm satisfied with.
What is this guy talking about?
The witness has an unusual amount of zeal. Let's hear more.
Hear him out.
I do know why.
Oh, I don't know what. Tell me.
That case was solved 2 years ago, wasn't it?
That's the reason the evidence was stored in the evidence room.
Crazy.
Joe Dark was convicted for his crimes. One thing I can say for sure is he deserved his sentence.
I remember the Joe Dark case. That poor innocent man went down for it was involved with serial murders.
I don't intend to complain about how it turned out. There's something that still bothers me. Something went down at that trial. Something no one will talk about.
What happened? I wasn't there.
I forget immediately.
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out.
You don't know?
That's crazy.
Unlike me, he wasn't there.
Why is he so concerned with that incident?
Phoenix, his family died.
Yeah, maybe I should present him with the real... I had a feeling we'd wind up here sooner or later. Everyone involved here is related in some way to that case. Well, maybe not the judge. I better take another look at the files. Okay. Okay. Officer Marshall, I think I understand. I think I know why you care so much about the SL9 incident.
Sounds like you've been sipping too much cactus juice, partner.
I have the SL9 incident file here. The name Marshall mentioned in here.
Oh.
Fuck, he can read. Wasn't betting on that one. I can't even read. How can anyone else read? In a list of murder victims. The point as it's switching over to Marshall. Neil Marshall. Are you related to this man?
Neil Marshall?
Neil.
Yeah, I'm sure you've heard the name. 2 years ago.
Yeah.
The cowboy.
He received the same lousy prosecutor award you got.
Oh. Huh.
What? A prosecutor?
You must be talking about the King of Prosecutors Award.
Now I remember. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He handled the SL9 case before I did.
Yeah, because he died.
That's right. He was killed.
He was killed.
And the case fell into your hands.
What's his relation to you?
He's my brother.
He was.
That's
my
his
brother.
fucking hair. It's his hair.
It's his hair.
Oh my god.
We got an answer. It's his hair.
That's his hair.
We're looking at it.
My brother.
He was my brother.
you know who his brother looks like? Young Kenny from Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
Holy
Yeah.
shit!
Hey,
Holy shit!
here to
Yeah.
kill your vermin.
Bang! 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 Prosecutors in town.
He was investigating the murders with Damon Gann, and then Deputy Chief of Police.
Yeah, okay, it was the dude in the foreground.
The group of detectives I was part of worked under them. We were desperate to prosecute the killer. Joe Dark. My brother fought Dark and was killed.
Some
That was
cowboy.
the first time Dark left behind any evidence. That was all we needed. He was arraigned and incarcerated. The case was finally closed. At least, according to the public records.
What do you mean?
My brother couldn't have been killed by Joe Dark.
Oh.
I knew my brother better than anyone.
Okay.
No one could have beaten him in a fight.
Never mind. He was a cowboy to the end. A 1v1, no chance. You have him anytime.
That's it. That's your reason for your insane actions.
Fucking crazy.
There's more to my brother's death than what the records say.
We live a little
No matter
different.
how
don't
much
we?
you try and hide it, you can't fool me.
Accidentally clicked that too fast.
Well, at least one thing's for certain. We now know what happened at the police department on the day of the crime.
That was the last day the SL9 case could be reopened. Oh, not satisfied with its resolution, Officer Marshall planned to steal the evidence.
Disguising himself as Detective Goodman, he entered the evidence room. Officer Meekins confronted him, so he rendered him
Fuck out of
unconscious
Meekins.
and fled.
Yes, this mystery has finally been cleared up. No murder took place at the police department that day.
Huh.
The things that happened by chance never cease to amaze. At exactly the same time as the murder at the prosecutor's office. This fake murder was going on at the police department.
Chance. It's gotta be more than just that.
So, if no one was murdered at the police department on the day of the crime, that means the murder in the prosecutor's office parking lot was the real one.
Which in turn means only one person could have committed the crime. Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky.
What?
Alright, here we go, back to this. But wait! A verdict wasn't reached in yesterday's trial!
Which is why we examined the incident at the police department today.
But
There's only one reason the defendant was not convicted yesterday. There yet remained the mystery of the simultaneous murder at the police department.
It seems to me this boy's got the draw on you, partner.
shut up, Marshall.
Nice.
All of the mysteries at the police department have been resolved, no doubt about it. Our sole murder took place at the prosecutor's office. The only suspect is Lana Sky. And the testimony of one Miss Angel Star is completely incontestable.
Oh, you mean the person that was also on the case with the guy on the stand right now?
This person is completely contestable.
And also was insane.
Make it a single word or less.
Oh, we're doing this now? Objection!
I rest my case.
First time that's been said.
It seems this trial has reached its conclusion. There is no room for doubt.
Well done, Mr. Wright. Thanks to you, I didn't need to waste my time disproving the alleged murder at the police department.
No doubt what I proved today is true. The apparent murder on the security camera's tape really was fake. But I didn't realize that would end up proving Lana guilty.
Now then, the time for this verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant.
Hold it! Welcome back. Your Honor, wait! Emma, the defense has an objection. A scientific objection. Right? What do you mean, right?
Mr. Wright,
Hi,
are you this girl's guardian?
Your Honor? Oh, in a sense? Please, Your Honor. All I'm asking is for a minute of your time. Please hear me out. Mr. Edgeworth, please.
I don't want to leave any loose ends.
Oh, you little softy.
You want a minute? I'll give you 3.
Oh.
My heart.
I was kind of in shock. I mean, finding out the SL9 incident referred to the Joe Dart killings. Now that she mentions it, the name of both Sky's sisters were in that file. But that's when I figured it out. I mean, what Officer Marshall was trying to do that day. So I knew his fingerprint had nothing. So I knew his fingerprint had nothing to do with the crime. That left only one thing. The other handprint.
You mean the traces of blood found on Detective Gumshoe's locker?
But no fingerprints were found on it, right?
No, but I figured if I scientifically examined it, I'd be sure to find a clue. So I ran over there and looked at it again. So, did you find something? No. Huh? Sorry. Guess I'm not much of a scientific investigator after all. Is that all? Don't be mad. Just a high school student. I'm just an attorney. An ace attorney. But Mr. Wright, those traces of blood are the only clue we have. We can't find something wrong with them. Please, Mr. Wright, you're a professional. If anyone can save Lana, it's you. Me? Oh boy.
The music kicked in.
Time's up.
Time to solve puzzles.
Now then,
Time to solve
Mr. Wright.
puzzles.
With regard to the incident at the police department, does any reasonable doubt remain?
It appears the defense is troubled by the other blood mark. Looking at the floor plans, the handprint was discovered around here. Is there a problem with this?
Oh. So this actually is going to be the opposite. I was thinking he snuck behind it, but I guess it's going to be there's no way he could have touched it.
Okay, sure.
Yeah,
sure.
I was thinking there was enough room to slip behind it.
But this implies that...
No, fucking Marshall just fucking dodge rolled under the camera.
Yeah.
He
But
solid
also, we're
snake rolled under it.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. What's the problem with this? Mr. Wright, I'm sorry I can't be of more use. But still, you can't find anything wrong with that blood mark. Lana will be...
Please answer my question, Mr. Wright. We don't have all day.
I'm thinking. What could be wrong with that handprint on Detective Gumshoe's locker? Could there be something I'm missing?
Objection!
This handprint left at the crime scene clearly shows a contradiction.
The only thing that seems clear is that you're grasping, Mr. Wright.
You've been staring pretty intently at those floor plans. Tell me, is there a problem with them?
Yes, this is strange. Take a good look at these floor plans. Something is missing.
Missing? You mean something hasn't been drawn on there?
Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
something that, when drawn, will completely change the meaning of the blood mark.
A bridge! I've heard this riddle. Let us pray the defense isn't simply trying to buy time. Very well, Mr. Wright.
God, I'd fucking hope with all this evidence here.
The question is, which item can prove something is missing on the floor plans?
Was it in front of it, maybe?
Oh, thanks, Marshall.
What about that piece of plywood?
He's saying, the Blue Badger, mascot of the police force, defender of truth, guardian of proof.
Oh my god.
Explain yourself, Mr. Wright.
Please look at the floor plans of the crime scene. The Blue Badger is not here.
So?
So watch what happens when we put him in. This is where he was dancing at the time of the crime. Okay, yeah. Well,
Well, what?
what is it? That's right. So long as the Blue Badger is dancing here, it would be impossible to place a handprint at this spot on the locker.
Holy shit.
God, he has the best one so far. He has the best one. The best taking damage animation.
So that means, what does that mean?
Nani?
It means it can't be done. Something else happened here.
What are you saying? Blood traces were undeniably found on that locker.
Look at me.
Mr. Wright, think it through scientifically. Emma. On that afternoon, this fucking face.
It's beautiful.
You'll never get old. Officer Meekins was the one who brought the Blue Badger to the evidence room, right? After he put it down, it would be impossible to leave a handprint on that locker. So that must mean this blood mark was left there before the Blue Badger was brought in.
Just one moment. I will not allow such far-fetched
Balderdash.
balderdash in my
Balderdash.
courtroom.
A good word.
It may sound far-fetched, Your Honor, but it's the only possible explanation. On February 21st, in the police department's evidence room, blood was spilled not once, but twice.
But how?
One time was captured on this tape, taken by the security camera. Officer Meekins cut his hand, from which a trivial amount of blood fell. The problem is, the other time... someone bled prior to the struggle shown on this tape. It had to have been Detective Goodman when he was really murdered. There we go.
Let's go.
Here
That's
we go.
ridiculous. I refuse to accept your absurd claim.
Edgeworth, where exactly were you? that day? And where exactly did you drive to? The murder portrayed in the security tape has been proven to be fake. However, that does not explain the blood mark found on the locker.
So then, assuming this murder you purport really happened, when did it take place?
Yeah.
20.
It was lit in the fucking evidence room.
Or 20.
Lit with blood.
I demand you show evidence that proves when it occurred.
When did the first incident occur?
To summarize, the defense claims that prior to Officer Meekins being cut by Jake Marshall, who was posing as Detective Goodman, another incident took place in that evidence room.
That's right. The blood mark on the locker proves this.
Very well, then tell us. When did this first incident occur? As Mr. Edgeworth said, proof must be presented.
Proof that shows when the murder took place. There's only one piece of evidence that can show that.
Now then, will the defense please present its evidence?
I think I got this, but just in case.
What shows when the first crime took place?
If the crime took place inside the evidence room, then the killer would have had to enter it. And in order to do so, an ID card would have been required.
An ID card. Oh! The ID card record.
The record.
The record.
Record. Officer Meekins brought the Blue Badger panel into the evidence room at 4:50. 4:50.
If the crime took place before that time, then it would be 4:40 p.m.
No, I wasn't.
It was Edgeworth.
No, I wasn't.
Bailiff.
I was.
Bailiff, get
Ah!
that man.
Ew, whack his pee-pee.
Miles Edgeworth. Just what have you done?
I never would have figured you had the nerve, boy.
I'm fitting this on Edgeworth.
Drop the act, witness. It doesn't take a lot of thought to figure it out. Figure out it couldn't have been me.
Nope, I ain't getting it.
No, you don't get anything.
I'm afraid I don't understand either. Death to Miles Edgeworth.
Two peas in a pod.
Clear from the it's clear from the luminol test that the blood was there. However, when the second crime took place, both Officer Meekins and Officer Marshall failed to notice the blood.
This is a great point. That means the blood from the first crime was wiped away by the real murderer.
Would have I would have what is he saying?
I would have had just
I
10
would have-
minutes to murder the
I
victim,
would have just
carry
had-
his body
I would
away.
have
Okay. Sorry.
and clean up the blood. Unfortunately, that's physically impossible.
Oh, now it's physically impossible.
Mhm.
But the lady in the Steel Samurai case couldn't walk down a sidewalk in 15 minutes.
Yeah, seriously. That would mean... The crime must
The
have
crime
taken
must
place
have-
before
sorry,
Mr.
sorry.
Edgeworth entered the evidence room. It's alright.
Yeah, I was thinking.
It's all good. Evidence. Let's look at the chart again. There's only one other card number remaining. 7777777.
Talk about a lucky number.
About to be their unlucky number.
But wait, that doesn't make sense.
Shut up, Your Honor.
How could Detective Goodman have entered the evidence room?
I don't know, maybe he walked in with the person. Since there's no record of his card being used beforehand, he must have entered along with the real murderer. See? That's the only plausible explanation. He went in with 77777. 7 sevens.
Mr. Edgeworth, please look into this ASAP. Find out whose ID number is 777777777.
That's 1 7 too many, Your Honor.
Damn, Edgeworth.
Oh my
He's on that shit.
Unfortunately, I'm unable to look up the owner of that ID card. At least at present.
What?
Explain yourself, son.
The ID number 7777777 belongs to someone with the rank of captain or higher. Someone who is so-called executive officer.
Therefore, we may not incriminate them.
Yeah.
You don't have the authority to inquire into such a person's identity. Suspicious.
Oh my god.
insane.
That's fucking
This is-
absurd.
Hold on, a judge can order anything. Like what?
That's ridiculous. Just how...
Not finished talking, Mr. Wright. There is one situation in which we can be granted such authority.
A subpoena.
If an official charge filed against an executive
If an official charge filed against an executive is accepted. An official charge?
You're all alike, aren't you? With your cover-ups and your forgeries. That's how the prosecutor's office operates.
Take pride in my work, Officer Marshall. I would appreciate it if you would keep your slander to yourself.
Slander, is it? Sorry.
Is it? Okay. Let me ask a question.
Yes?
No, not to you. To her, the defendant sitting over there. Your own little executive.
Lana?
Don't be stupid. She's been charged with murder. Of course, we've looked up her ID number, and it's not 7777777.
Don't play me for a fool, partner. That's not what I want to ask. All I want to know is one thing about that incident.
The SL9 incident.
Answer me this, Chief Prosecutor. In that trial 2 years ago, did you really only use legitimate evidence?
You need the witness to repeat his question, Chief Prosecutor.
Heard him fine, Mr. Edgeworth.
2 years ago, I was in charge of the prosecution for that trial. At the time,
Occasionally, we felt the powerlessness of the law. At least, I did. Lana! I became a prosecutor in order to suppress crime with the law. But before I realized it, we were the ones being suppressed by the law.
Defendant, just what are you saying?
What are you saying? That we should improve society? Yet you live in it!
You
Guilty!
participated
Guilty!
in prosecution.
Guilty!
hey, you live in it.
Oh my god, they're gonna like swap off the stand. You again, Chief
I'll
Prosecutor.
ask you again, Chief Prosecutor. During that trial 2 years ago, did you really present all the evidence in court? Can you look me, an investigator in that crime, in the eye and say that you did?
Chief Prosecutor, you didn't.
I don't have to, Officer Marshall.
Why won't you answer him?
Drastic crimes require drastic measures. It's just the way it is. We did what we had to do in
Your
order
profile.
for him to get the verdict he deserved. But Lana, even if it involved forging evidence.
What? People lie?
Corruption?
See? That's what I'm talking about.
No.
No!
Order, 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 order!
Well, we're probably not finishing this one tonight. Oh well.
Or
Have to wait until the following day.
Ah!
Alright. Shit.
So have these
You can't
past couple of trials you've been doing all been connecting to one big thing?
Yes. Like,
Okay.
day 3 investigation. Alright. Time for speed. I'm so sorry, Mr. Wright. I'm sorry for what my sister said. Alright, not that fast. Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to, in order for him to get the verdict he deserved. I didn't know. I never knew that the SL9 incident was just another name for the Joe Dark killings. Sounds like everyone's heard about these killings but me. Lana wanted Dark convicted so badly. That's why she used me. That's why she used what happened to me. What do you mean what happened to you? It's all there in the file. No, it's not. Joe Dark's last victim was prosecutor Neil Marshall. When he murdered Officer Marshall's brother, he left behind an incriminating piece of evidence. But what did you have to do with those killings, Emma? On the night prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered, Joe Dark tried to kill me. What? He tried to kill you? Officer Marshall's brother, Neil, was only trying to save me. That means you. Yes. I was a witness in the Joe Dark trial. I didn't see that one coming. It happened 2 years ago. It was right about this time of the year, too. There was a terrible thunderstorm that day, unusual for the season. I was alone in my sister's office. We were planning to eat dinner together once she finished her work. Then suddenly, this terrifying man came bursting into the office. Joe Dark. It seemed like he was running from someone. He pulled out a knife and screamed at me. I didn't know what was going on. Now we're on the 3rd day, right? I think we're on day 4, actually? It was listed really weird in the save file, like, look. Yeah, oh no, we are on day 3. Oh,
Day
okay,
3, yeah.
we're on day 3 because it's after the trial.
Yeah.
Right, I always think that it would be the investigation, then the trial, but it's the trial, then the investigation.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go to a day 4.
Yeah, because it's like day 1 is you get hired, you investigate. Day 2 is trial investigation. Day 3 is trial investigation. Then day 4.
Well, it was also a trial split into 2 parts on both of them,
Right,
so
right.
I didn't
But it
know what
on
was
the- it
going
on the
on.
same day. Yeah.
Just then, Prosecutor Marshall showed up. Jake Marshall's brother. Joe Dark tried to take me hostage. But before he could, Mr. Marshall tackled him. Then... it happened. I'll never forget it. Lightning struck and the lights went out. Suddenly, a bolt of lightning flashed outside the window, lighting up the office for an instant. What I saw then burned a permanent picture in my mind. I can still see it now. Permanent picture? I don't remember the moment when Dark stabbed Mr. Marshall. So you weren't able to testify about that? No, I was only asked about when I was attacked. That must be why she made up the crime. Made it up? You mean provided bogus evidence? The prosecutor's office wanted that guilty verdict so badly. Lana forged the evidence and Mr. Edgeworth used it. Edgeworth? Yes, but I'm sure he didn't know anything about it. He couldn't have known he was being given false evidence. It was his first case. Even so, that's when it all started. The rumors about Mr. Edgeworth, I mean. All my fault. If I could have just testified properly, none of this would have happened. So it's true, even though he may not have known it. Edgeworth really was involved in falsifying evidence. After that case ended, Lana was never the same. She became cold, like she is today. She must not have been able to face up to what she did, especially not to Emma. What did you see in the instant that crime occurred? He's got a garlic head. Dark knocked down Mr. Marshall and raised his knife. You know, Marshall was stabbed right in front of this poor girl. I don't remember what happened after that. Apparently, I passed out. When I came to, Lana was cradling me in her arms. Poor Emma. Been through so much. I couldn't bring myself to testify about that incident. Ooh, nice boots.
Thought you said boobs.
Boobs.
Nice boobs.
Nice boobs.
More boobs.
I tried, but the words just wouldn't come out.
More boobs.
I drew a picture, but it wasn't any good. 2 years ago, he must have been 14. That's understandable. Once it was all over, I made up my mind. I decided that when I grew up, I'd become a scientific investigator. I want to be able to fight crime with my testimonies. Find the evidence to make an airtight case. That way, Lana would never have to forge any. Yeah, she was 14. She's stupid because it's all repressed. All her intelligence is repressed.
Ah, makes sense.
Makes sense. I see. I think I'm finally starting to understand what makes Emma tick. Not much. But there's still something that bothers me about that crime. There's something that's puzzling me, Emma. What is it? You said you were in Lana's office at the time, right? That's right. Why then would a serial killer come running in there? Not only that, but he was being chased by a prosecutor. Oh, there's no mystery there. Joe Dark had been taken in for questioning that day. Taken in for questioning? You mean by the police? Of course. This happened at the police department. He tried to run away halfway through the interview and fled into my sister's office. That seems so unlikely. Yeah, but why did he run all the way to your sister's office? Because the detective offices in the questioning room are right across from the elevator. Across from the elevator? But Lana was the chief prosecutor, wasn't she? No, silly, didn't I tell you? 2 years ago,
Oh,
Lana was a detective.
I guess that makes sense. A little more sense.
She was the best in the entire force. What? That's news to me. For the Joe Dark case, she was transferred to the prosecutor's office and made chief prosecutor. She was a detective that forged evidence and got a fucking promotion?
To chief prosecutor? Okay.
Be like that sometimes, man.
She became their dog.
Yeah.
She became their
Oh,
dog.
like literally, yeah.
Like, yeah, like, well, here, we got dirt on you. You just do what we fucking tell you now. I used to be a detective. I better have another talk with her. I ain't presenting shit to people. I'm out of here. I'm out of here.
Present these hands.
Lana! Mr. Wright. Seems I keep causing you trouble. Falsifying evidence. I didn't think you were the type. Criminals don't mind playing foul. Why should we? Lana, if you're wrong, an innocent person might be found guilty. Believe me, I understand the risks. Lana, Emma told me about you. Oh? About how you were a detective 2 years ago. How the SL9 incident was the reason for your transfer to the prosecutor's office. That's right. Could you fill me in on the details, especially about that unusual change of jobs? Suppose you have a right to know, Mr. Wright. I gotta know. Alright, well, let's... A lot of revelations were uncovered at the trial today, not the least of which was the fact that this case is largely connected to another one 2 years ago. Evidence from that case was stolen as well, though I expected as much. I know how obsessive Officer Marshall can be. That trial, it really wasn't fair, was it? I believed in you, Lana. I believed that no matter what happened, you'd always stick to the truth. Couldn't be helped, Emma. Just can't be helped. At that trial 2 years ago, I sold my soul. Well, all drama aside, the matter of the fact is, at 5:15, there was no murder at the police department. Tell me it's not true, Lana. What the witness, Miss Starr, said. About you stabbing Mr. Goodman with a knife. Lana, I don't understand. Why won't you tell us? Doesn't involve just me. I don't think I've ever seen Lana look so fazed before. It's true. I was a member of the police force 2 years ago. She was amazing! I still talk about all the cases she and Chief Gant cracked together. Chief Gant? He was the deputy chief of police back then, but he still worked the crime scenes. Damon Gant. He was everything I aspired to be. Tall, handsome, Irish.
Huge chest.
Huge. They were the best team ever. They solved crimes before the reports could even be filed. Emma really idolizes her big sister. But now you're chief prosecutor. What happened? Ah! I always planned on becoming a prosecutor. The reason I became a detective was to gain experience investigating crime scenes so you could use the experience in court, right? Gant's help in the SL9 case was crucial to its resolution. After that, I became chief of police and arranged my transfer to the prosecutor's office. Maybe I should ask more about this investigation of theirs 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I was second in command of the detectives investigating Drake. Did I miss that part? I clicked out of the game. Oops.
What'd you say?
I'm just checking, cause yeah, executive investigators, Damon Gant, Lana Skye. Yeah, I didn't even catch that. That meant she would have been a detective.
Well,
you know, considering I'm an investigator as an attorney.
Right, but also, Edgeworth is the,
was the
investigator.
Was the executive investigator, yeah. Years ago, I had a second in command. I was second in command of the detectives investigating Dark. Second in command? That means the investigation lead was Damon Gant, right? Yes, Deputy Chief Gant. And I shared the same office and the same investigations. They even had the same office. We led a team of the best detectives on the force. Detective Goodman, whose case it was, Jake Marshall, and Angel Starr. It was the first time Marshall worked with his brother, who was quite gung-ho. Without a doubt, Joe Dark was the serial killer. We asked him to come in for questioning. We were desperate for evidence. That was when his final murder took place. He tried to murder Emma. Prosecutor Marshall was trying to save me from Drake. Dark. Well, I'm surprised that hasn't happened more.
Not your fault.
You see, the first person who happened upon the scene of the crime was me. Now you tell us. Damon Gant and Neil Marshall were the ones questioning Dark that day. The investigation was in its final stages and Dark must have suddenly panicked. So, he waited until Gant and Marshall let their guards down and fled the room. That's a little unbelievable, but we'll go with it. From there, he ran straight to the offices shared by Deputy Chief Gant and myself. That's where he found me. So you were the first person to run to the scene, Lana. It appears so. I was filing some papers while Gant and Marshall were questioning Dark. That's a really strange place for the knife to be. When I returned to my office, I saw 3 bodies on the floor and smelled blood. 3 bodies. Prosecutor Marshall, the victim, Emma, who had passed out, the suspect, Joe Dark. During the struggle, it seems Mr. Marshall struck a final blow before he died. Joe Dark had incurred a minor concussion and lay unconscious. What did you do? To be honest, I panicked. Reasonable. I picked up Emma, carried her out of the room, and just held her. Can't blame her after all her sister must have gone through. After that, I placed Dark under immediate arrest. Let me get this straight. You were all involved in the SL9 incident? That's right. Quite a coincidence, I don't buy it. What are you saying? There's no way everyone involved in this trial was also involved in the incident.
Jack, what do you... Jack!
Crazy time with Tommy's dog. Just by chance. But that case was solved 2 years ago. At least one person went to extremes because they didn't believe it was truly solved. Officer Marshall. Yes, his actions came as a surprise to me as well. Ever since his brother died, he's changed completely. He's just coping. But was also a cowboy back then too.
Right.
I guess he wasn't convinced with the ruling against Joe Dark. Life doesn't end with the closing of a case. Everyone has to live the rest of their lives with their memories. That case just might not be over yet. Emma was assaulted by Dark at the police department, right? Yes, in the office that Damon Gant and I shared. The office that Mr. Gant now occupies by himself. The chief's office. Maybe we should have a look at the chief's office, the site of the final SL9 murder. God, that would be so cold at this point. Shit, man. I don't know. Okay.
I think we just go.
Yeah.
Speed.
February 24th, police station, criminal affairs depth. I don't see Detective Gumshoe anywhere. Things seem kind of quiet around here today. You're right. The chief of detectives seems the same, though. Why don't we go look for some other people to talk to? Right. We can come back here later. That man must be the chief of detectives. He's staring at the screen so hard it might shatter. What? Dark case may have been fabricated. That's what I thought all along. I just never bothered to tell anyone. Now there's a guy who cares about his work.
Oh my god.
February 24th, police department entrance. You weren't arrested?
They let you go.
Hi, Bambino. Oh, Mr. Marshall. Never thought things turned out this way when I woke up this morning. Hey, Sarah. You never know where life will lead you, eh, Bambina? I should have known my luck had run out when old Billy dried up this morning. Billy? Must be his pet cactus. Say, where are you headed? Just over to the prosecutor's office for a little interrogation. It's a voluntary appearance, but we all know I won't be coming back. Sorry, you can't go in the evidence room today, partner. Mr. Marshall, why did you do it? Why do prospectors head west? If ever there was a case I needed to know the truth about, it was that one. Before you turn yourself in, Mr. Marshall, would you mind telling us exactly what happened? Looks like I won't be getting a steak lunch today. Something was fishy about that trial from the beginning. It wasn't just me either. All the detectives thought so. What do you mean fishy? Some of the facts reported were inconsistent with the evidence we found. For example, the murder weapon. Murder weapon? You mean the switchblade knife with the broken tip? That was Joe Dark's, all right. But in the initial autopsy report, a question was raised. Question? The blade of the knife was not a perfect match with the wound in the victim. Whoa, okay. The blade of the knife was not a perfect match with the wound the victim sustained. What does that mean? It means there's a good chance the knife was not the murder weapon. Okay. However, in the report that was finally submitted, that possibility had been erased. Ah. Could the facts have been concealed with forged evidence? A case left behind scars on all of us. Scars that the SL9 incident left behind? I got the looks, but he got the brains. He was one of the best prosecutors around. I had just made detective when it went down. It was our first case together. How old was he? Your brother. He was 27 at the time. He was odd. He was awarded the highest honor that very day. The highest honor? You mean the King of Prosecutors? I knew it. What are you looking at me like that for? That's an honor for a prospector. See, now he mixed me up.
He did mix you up.
For a prosecutor.
He started saying prosecutor.
Mr. Marshall must have really been close with his brother. That day the SL9 incident took place. That wasn't the same day as... That's right. It was the day of the evidence transferal. Interesting. It was drizzling that morning, and by nightfall there was thunder. So this is really interesting. So now we're gonna find out there actually were two separate murders at two locations, and that's what we actually saw in the opening cutscene.
Right. Yeah.
Oh man. What the fuck were they on when they wrote this? They could have released this as its own game at this point. Good lord. It's drizzling that morning, and by nightfall there was thunder. Because there was no one. We just assumed, yeah, okay, it was raining that during that time or whatever, right? But it's like,
Yeah.
no, there was no one pointed out that it was like, oh man, it rained really hard last night or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So that's okay. All right. I just assumed, but Huh. I can't believe 2 years have already gone by. I tried to steal the evidence so the case wouldn't die. Apparently, someone tried to stop you. Detective Goodman was murdered. The evidence locker was empty. There was something going on behind the scenes in that case. We all knew that later. Every detective involved in that investigation, save one, was taken care of. Star was fired and I was demoted and boxed away in a tiny room. What about Detective Goodman? They did something to him too. The commissioners were getting suspicious. No, they were careful enough not to be too obvious. They? Who are you talking about? Don't get upset, Bambina. I mean Damon Gant and Lana Skye. Investigation lead, Damon Gant and his second-in-command, Lana Skye. There wasn't a person on the force who hadn't heard of that duo. That case was the biggest step in both of their careers. After the case ended, Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office, right? Yeah. Yeah, Damon Gant, the new chief of police, arranged for that to happen.
They should have made his last name like Earth or something. So they would have been Earth and Sky or something to that effect.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Never been the same since she left. Everyone who knew her said so. Chief Prosecutor Sky was totally different when she was a detective. Now that he mentions it, Emma said something like that too. Tell me, what happened to my sister? Sorry, Bambina, but her secret is too well guarded. I never found out. Lana's secret. It all started 2 years ago. There you have it. That's my story. You enjoy it, partner? It was certainly enlightening. One thing for sure I found out in court today. That boy Edgeworth isn't my enemy. He was the one who used falsified evidence to get a guilty verdict. Someone else was the one who gave him that evidence and planned everything. That someone is Damon Gant. Don't believe me? Well, I don't blame you. Okay, that's interesting. I heard this case was originally meant to be a main plot for an Ace Attorney sequel, but they turned it into a long case instead of a mystery you'd uncover over the course of the game. But it's never been confirmed. I'd believe it. Like that. This is like when stuff.
The plot of a game.
Yeah,
yes.
when stuff goes all the way to the top at the end, like that's definitely a good plot for a mystery story like this, especially, you know, involving police corruption and whatnot.
It's Calibur too.
It's yeah. Well, that
You know,
that game that movie story wasn't so much about corruption as it was about incompetence and like
The
pride.
illusion of peace.
Yeah, that was more so just like how bad the system works, not so much about the individual evils
Only
of
you
the
knew
people
how bad
in the
it
system.
really was.
Yeah. Don't believe me? Well, I don't blame you. I won't even be a patrolman after today. What? He hasn't been drinking it the whole time!
But now he is, because he got fired.
Oh my god, too bad I won't be around to work with you. When you become a real scientific investigator. Adios, Bambina.
Kyle's dead.
Walks away. Yeah, I know, his character just got killed off. What do they have to say about this now? Boo Badger is still writhing around today. Writhing. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt and say he's dancing. Speaking of dancing, the whole police department... Okay, yeah.
He's
I
still
wouldn't
seething
ride.
and coping to this day.
The followers of Open surreptitiously seek the forbidden mucus.
Alright, so... Back here we are. Prosecutor's office, underground parking lot. No one's here today, not even Miss Star. Everyone's probably busy looking at what exactly went down in the evidence room. That must be where the detectives are. But we proved in court today that on the day of the crime, no one was murdered in the evidence room at 5:15 p.m. Yeah, I thought we were finally making some headway in our case. But instead, it looks like we just ended up making Lana look even more guilty. Hang in there, Lana. Gotta find all the answers by tomorrow. Actually, I think I need to go back to... Oh, nope. Go here. February 24th, High Prosecutor's Office, room 1202. Mr. Edgeworth isn't here. Maybe he's being questioned by an inquiry committee. He took a real beating in court today. Yeah, with Lana admitting to falsifying evidence 2 years ago. I guess we'll just have to come back later. I guess we need to go to... go back here. Yeah, Criminal Affairs Department. February 24th, Police Station Criminal Affairs Department. Place is always pretty empty, but today it's deserted. That must mean everyone's busy solving crimes. Oh, if you're looking for the others, they're all in the conference room. I'll do a shitty job, but... Thanks. Wow, he actually talked to us. Oh no, it was this chief, not Cam. But yeah, whatever. All chiefs are now Irish. Chief prosecutor saying what she did and the decision about what to do about Mr. Edgeworth, not to mention our statement to the media in tomorrow's trial. More chaos going on to chaos. And Thanksgiving and Christmas put together. think festive is the word usually used for those. Sir, we'd like to have a look around Chief Gant's office. Just use the connecting hallway to the other building and take the elevator to the top floor. He doesn't even give a shit. Really? You mean it's okay for us to go in there? I mean, we aren't police officers or anything. Hey, you're right. You can't go in there. It's off limits.
Shut up, Emma.
Shut up, Emma. Now I see where Detective Gumshoe gets his unique charm. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's head to the chief's office. Wow!
My God.
What the fuck?
Holy hell.
Nice.
What an imposing room. What? This is a final boss room. Good lord.
Dude, we're gonna lose the trial and we're gonna have to come up here and fight the guy.
Yeah, we're gonna have to fucking fight him. He's gonna rip his shirt off and he's gonna be huge. Oh my god.
Nanomachine, son.
Oh my god. Whoa, where am I?
That photo is the shield hole.
In the chief's office, silly. At least that's what it said on the door. Check out that pipe organ. That's real, isn't it? Hey, I used to take organ lessons in kindergarten. All right, cool. Play the secret code to open the secret room. They used to call me Little Miss Bach. Thought I was a genius until they tried teaching me notes. Never could remember where C was. Oh yeah, Ganon is playing an organ at the end of Ocarina of Time, isn't he? Right.
Right, yeah.
I wouldn't know. Someone's mic's breaking a bit. I'm not sure.
Probably mine.
It is yours. Oh, it's you two. Chief Gan. He put that paper he was reading on his desk. Oh, righto. Have you been swimming lately? No, I haven't. I've been kind of busy lately. I can appreciate that. I've had my hands full too with Mr. Marshall's misconduct. And Lana's provocative statement. Provocative statement? Oh, you mean about the forged evidence? 2 years ago have passed since that incident. My, how time flies. See that big picture on the wall over there? What? What? Who's in the armor? The vase! The vase!
Shit.
Lana's titty's
Was
getting
that
poked!
Wasn't that used as a weapon? Isn't that a piece of evidence?
We don't know what the fuck it is!
Oh shit.
Oh shit. It's a picture of Lana, Neil, and me. So this is Mr. Marshall's brother, Prosecutor Neil Marshall. We took it to commemorate our work together. Something's not right with this picture. Why is there a dude in armor? Can't quite put my finger on it though. Sheesh. I love that this is his gimmick. Anyway, I'd like to reminisce all day, but there are matters that need my attention. I'm gonna lock up here, so let's go out together. Oh, but this office. It was a crime scene 2 years ago, wasn't it? That case has long been since over. There's no need to investigate it anymore. All the same, we'd still like to have a look around. Perhaps you didn't hear me.
Oh.
I said there's no need to investigate it anymore. Now hurry up and get out. I have a meeting to attend. It's like we aren't welcome. Seems that case isn't over with yet after all. What do you mean? Chief Gant denied our request to search the crime scene. Tommy, your mic is... Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez.
Oh, God.
I'm gonna have to buy Tommy a new mic. He won't do it. That means there must be a reason he doesn't want us looking around in there. You mean like a clue? Gotta be a way we can get inside Chief's office. Yeah, just head right back in. Fuck it. Sorry. Okay, never mind. Well, hopefully Tommy figures it out. Hey, pal. Detective Gumshoe, aren't you supposed to be in a meeting? I'm, just taking a breather. My feet hurt. Sitting so long? Actually, I'm serving everyone coffee. Sounds like Detective Gumshoe's still out of the loop. Say, have either of you seen Mr. Edgeworth? Edgeworth? No, why do you ask? He's under fire from both the police department and the prosecutor's office. It's almost like the battles between you two in court. That sounds serious. Because of what my sister said? That's basically what it all boils down to, yeah. I falsified evidence 2 years ago. Now Mr. Edgeworth has the whole world after his blood. Yikes. But why would Edgeworth be blamed? It's not like he knew the evidence was forged. Lana Skye is the guilty party here, isn't she? Regardless, the prosecutor is responsible for the evidence they present in court. Not only that, but as you know, there have been a lot of rumors going around about Edgeworth. His amazing talent as a prosecutor has kept him safe from those who didn't like him. Now with this. Are there really so many people who hate him? In our world, only those with talent rise up to the top. Mr. Edgeworth's not only has that, but he's young. There's no better recipe I know of for making enemies. Hey, Dick! Keep up the good work. Yes, sir. Let's go out for lunch again sometime. My treat. Yes, sir. You gotta take me back to that joint sometime, okay, Dick? Yes, sir. Seems you don't have any problems with enemies. Ah, well. Be careful not to stick out. Anyway, I'm a bit worried about him. Under all this pressure, I'm afraid Mr. Edgeworth just might crack. Actually, I took a look at the file earlier while the coffee was brewing. Seems genuinely concerned for Edgeworth. Well, did you find out anything? The only evidence Dark left behind was during his final attack. His final attack? You mean when he killed Prosecutor Marshall, who was trying to protect some girl? It's that one right there. Me. Oh, shit.
Damn.
It seems Detective Gumshoe never realized Emma was the girl. That's when he left the most incriminating evidence of all. Well, what was it? Let's see. I think it had something to do with the murder weapon? Oh, I forgot. Look, it's all written somewhere in here, okay? His powers of recollection never failed to impress. Maybe we should show him the murder weapon. It might jog his memory. Joe Dark was 42 at the time of the crime. He was just your run-of-the-mill businessman. Businessman? What made him take to serial killing? One day on his way home from work, he hit someone with his car. With his car? So it was an accident? An accident, yes. But it transformed him into an animal. An animal? He killed a man that witnessed that accident. And he killed a lady who had saw the second crime. Oh, that's auto-scrolling? Dark came up well and was killed as well. Finally, he turned himself in.
Jesus.
Finally, he turned himself in. Seems he was a pretty careless animal. Of course, this is all conjecture. There wasn't a single shred of evidence. So he turned himself in. Yes, but in the middle of his questioning, he fled and murdered his final victim. Huh.
This seems crazy.
So now I'm led to believe that that Dark actually
Didn't kill anyone?
wasn't a crazy killer, but was potentially getting crimes pinned on him.
Right.
Crime was witnessed by someone too, but luckily Dark was arrested on the spot. It's a good thing that the last witness wasn't killed. That last witness, aka Emma, Yeah. About this. Hey, is that... It has a tag attached to it with the label SL9 incident on it. I believe this would be the broken murder weapon you were speaking of. What are you doing with that? Ever since that case was closed, that knife's been locked away in a locker. On the day Detective Goodman was murdered, this suddenly disappeared from the locker. Right, so like someone took it beforehand, clearly. Obviously, we've kind of known that, but they haven't talked about it too much. It was found in Mr. Edgeworth's car muffler. That's it? Oh wait, that's it. Now I remember what that incriminating piece of evidence was. When you showed me that knife, it all came back to me. Well, what is it, Detective? Quick, before you forget again. This knife. It was Joe Dark's, wasn't it? That's right. We traced it back to the store he bought it at, plus it had his fingerprints on it too. But no one actually witnessed him using it to murder anyone, right? That's where his luck ran out. When you take a good look at the knife, you'll see it's broken. Yes, Gumshoe. You don't have to take a good look at it to notice that. Yeah, well, anyway. Take a guess where the broken off tip of the knife was found. That's what did him in. Where was it? The victim, Neil Marshall, was carrying it inside his own body. Ow. It's found deep inside the stab wound. Did it match Dark's knife? You bet, down to the last fiber. That's pretty conclusive. Well, there you have it in a nutshell. That's all I know. Can I ask you one more thing? What is it? If it's money you need, you should ask Chief Gant. Not money, but it does concern the Chief. His office is a crime scene, right? It's where Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered. Chief's out now and his office is locked. We'd like to have a look around if that's okay. So now I'm led to believe that I guess Gant killed Marshall. Might be the idea here.
We'll see. But why?
But fucking why? I'd like to have a look around if that's okay. Well, any detective's ID card can unlock that door. What, really? But if I let a civilian in there, I'd be charged with breach of trust. Breach of trust? Simply put, I'd be canned. Oh. Sorry, pal. I don't plan on getting fired because of you. How about this ID card? It was Detective Goodman's. That won't work either. The data was deleted the day he died. Oh. So in other words, Gumshoe is our only chance of getting into that office. I wonder if there's something we could show him that would make him change his mind.
We need another steak dinner.
Go check out the screwdriver.
Maybe the photo.
I doubt it.
Wait,
So-
what screwdriver?
The one from the second case, dude. It was
one that was in the drawer?
in the hotel room.
No fucking way.
Evidence from a past case of Edgeworth's brought back to his office by Gant's request. That's what Edgeworth was getting out of the evidence room at 440.
Oh my fucking god. I love shit like that, dude.
Dude,
You're not
I'm
sure.
fucking...
I'm not quite sure when my mic stopped working, but I did point out that in that photo with Marshall, the King of Prosecutors word has a sword that's not there anymore.
Yeah, you're right.
And also the knight.
Also the knight and
was
also
just-
the vase.
Yeah, but the knight was just off to the side in the room. It was in his office.
I must have missed it. It's really weird
Yeah.
looking though. It's pointing right at her boobie.
Well, if we get back in there, you'll
Very
you'll
good,
see it.
Capcom.
In the corner.
Not only is it this is a good call though. Not
Sword,
only is it a sword,
it's a broken sword.
sword.
Because it's a broken shield and a broken sword. Which,
Also, there's clearly a murder weapon that we just pieced back together here.
Right.
In his office.
more specifically, there's blood on that thing.
There's blood on that thing and it's broken.
Yeah.
Yeah. Name of deceased, Neil Marsh. Okay, date of time between death 7 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. Cause of death, single stab wound, piercing heart/lung. Assessment, died from blood loss in under 10 minutes. Weapon found and wound was missing tip. Well, I don't think there's anything obvious at the immediate moment. Okay, she doesn't seem to want anything. Yeah, maybe it's Edgeworth time.
I mean, we could start showing things to.
I wonder if Edgeworth is back yet. There he is. It looks like he's writing something. What are you doing here? Sure was quick to throw that paper on the floor. Tough day in court, huh? I've had to live the past 2 years with rumors flying around. What's another allegation to me? Cheer up, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm rooting for you. That's Edgeworth for you. Always trying to hide his real feelings. So, what do you want? Unlike some people, I don't have all day. I wonder what he was writing before.
Can you give him Jeremiah Gottwald, please?
Oh, you want a little bit of Jeremiah Gottwald?
Oh, I would love some Jeremiah Gottwald.
You want to do it? I'll do it, though.
Nah,
Okay.
I'm in the middle of something.
Come on, Mr. Wright, let's take a look. Are you crazy? Edgeworth is sitting right there. Just distract him. I'll check it out. Check out these cheeks. Hey, Edgeworth. Is that Detective Gumshoe out the window there? Look. Oh no, he's falling to the ground. Hold on.
Gumshoe.
First, let me see what the girl's doing crawling around my feet. He didn't even look. What? Letter of... If you're having trouble reading, I'll read it for you. It says, letter of resignation. Resignation? Edgeworth, you don't mean... I'm tired, right? I feel as if something inside me has died. Mr. Edgeworth, none of it is your fault. I know the path I've walked. You don't need to tell me. And the path I've walked hasn't been a just one. I have to hear it again. It's hard to do without it.
Yeah.
I can't forgive myself for what I've done.
Jeremiah Gottwald.
Yeah, a little tough to keep up. Can't forgive myself for what I've done. And no one else should forgive me either. You're so emo! Uh-oh, I think he's serious. Mr. Wright, please, you have to do something. Letter of resignation. I wonder if I could use it for anything. Edgeworth's discarded letter of resignation. He's serious. There's no excuse for what I've done. 2 years ago, I used false evidence to obtain a guilty verdict. That's what it all breaks down to, and nothing I do can erase that fact. But you didn't know, did you? I mean that the evidence was falsified. The police department and the prosecutor's office share a bond of trust. If that bond is broken, we stand to lose everything. The police department's error is my error, my responsibility as the prosecutor in charge. That fact remains the same no matter what excuses I might have. Mr. Edgeworth, I take pride in my work. So tell me why? Why has it all come to this? Even Edgeworth can't keep this kind of emotion bottled up. Are you up for the trial tomorrow? First last year's trial and now this one. Seems all you do is worry about me. God, this fucking be honest, you're getting on my nerves. But Mr. Edgeworth, you can't just walk out on the trial. Tomorrow is the last day. It's too late to change prosecutors. I'll bet that's what my superiors are banking on. I never thought that case would come back to haunt me like this. What do you mean? The list of evidence. It seems too short. Most lists run twice as long. It's only half as long as most lists? That is odd. After Neil Marshall was murdered, I became prosecutor for that case. I may not have been part of the investigation, but I knew what I had to do. Use the evidence I was given to prove the suspect guilty. That was really the only thing on my mind at the time. Hey, we just saw a picture taken around that time. That picture, something seems strange about it. Sword. You tell us about what happened that day. The day Detective Goodman was murdered. You were participating in a ceremony over at the station, right? I've never cared for ceremonies, but I had to attend that one. Because you were awarded this? Those receiving awards can't exactly skip out on the ceremony. I finished up at the office in the morning, then drove over to the police department. You finished up at the office? Yes, just odds and ends. Clerical stuff. I didn't plan on returning to the office that day. But you did. That is, until I was asked to take something back. Take something back? This. Oh yeah, Chief Gant asked you to hold on to that, didn't he? Yes, it was a piece of evidence in a case that was closed half a year ago. He asked me to bring it back to the prosecutor's office. That's the story we heard yesterday. It's weird that they're like avoiding talking about which one it was. You came back here to the prosecutor's office because the chief asked you to. That's right. This picture was hanging on the wall in Chief Gant's office. Prosecutor Neil Marshall, he had just started making a name for himself. Looks like this was taken when he received the King of Prosecutors trophy. You know, Lana also doesn't have all her badges there.
Right. She's not chief prosecutor.
Yeah. Speaking of that, there's something that bothers me. Yeah, but also, why? Oh, I guess they were taking it because they were on... Actually, I don't know. Why the fuck were they taking it together? If he wasn't chief of police yet...
They mentioned they had worked together on a case or something.
Right, but why they got the fancy office already? I guess...
Well, those two were sharing this office. He was the deputy chief of police, and she was a detective. And they worked together. They were just a duo, and they shared an office.
Right. Speaking of that, there's something that bothers me. Yes. The trophy Mr. Marshall is holding, it's a little different than yours. Yes, you're right. I remember now. Remember what? That was what the official prosecutor's trophy looked like until 2 years ago.
I couldn't say who. Apparently someone took the sword and shoved it up their ass.
Yeah. There's a story behind its design. Story? Sounds interesting. Would you mind telling it to us? It's simple, really. Contradiction. That's what the award's based on.
Yes.
This award originates from an ancient Chinese tale. In Chinese, the word contradiction is written with two characters. First means halberd and the second means shield. You heard this story?
I have.
Me? Oh, sure. Everyone knows that. Why don't you tell it, though? For Emma's sake. Very well. Long ago in the kingdom of Chu, there was an arms merchant. One day, he presented the king with two items. The first was a halberd he claimed could slice through any shield or armor. The second was a shield he claimed could withstand any weapon. Wait a minute.
Objection!
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Those claims contradict each other. Very perceptive. But then again, you've heard this story before, right? Anyway, as you mentioned, the very descriptions of these items discredit them both. When the king pointed this out, the merchant was left speechless, and thus the Chinese word for contradiction was born. Oh, I see. So the chip shield and broken knife symbolize... Precisely so. They symbolize the merchant's items. The ancient tale ends with the merchant at a loss for words. But it's in our nature to pursue matters to their conclusion, even if it results in something as ugly as this. Wow. Thanks, Mr. Edgeworth. I learned something new today. That's funny. If that's so, then why were you only given a shield? You'll have to ask Chief Gant. 2 years ago, he had the halberd part of the award abolished. Wonder why? Anything worthwhile presenting to him? Oh, this was actually, like, actual text. Hold on, I'll redo it. They say where there's smoke, there's fire. Apparently, I was so caught up in the smoke, I lost sight of the truth. Edgeworth. The others are right. I have no right to serve as a prosecutor, but Mr. Edgeworth, you were only doing your job. I've always made my own decisions about what I can or cannot do. That hasn't changed. Forgiving myself is something I cannot do. Uh-oh. I think he's serious. Mr. Wright, please. You have to do something. This letter of resignation. Okay.
No, Edgeworth, then you won't get your spin-offs.
Excuse me. You just live here. Would either of you care for a quarter pounder of roast beef? Yes. Miss Starr, I guess she's out of lunches. You certainly are the curious sort, aren't you? Kind of like the first person who sucked a cow's nipple to discover milk.
What?
Why would they have to suck it?
Was very thirsty.
Oops.
I mean,
it's a big one.
They wouldn't they wouldn't have to suck on it.
The first person who climbed a mountain was chasing a bird.
Still, I never thought you'd go digging up that case from 2 years ago. Everyone in this trial was involved in the SL9 incident. Not only that, but the murder occurred on the very day the evidence from that case was due for transferal. This can't all be attributed to mere coincidence. Aren't you forgetting something? You know, that little scene I happened to witness? Instant Lana stabbed Detective Goodman with a knife. No matter how much of the past you dig up, it won't change what I saw. Roast beef is meant to be savored when eaten. Star's hatred towards Lana. It all dates back to 2 years ago. Joe Dark, that's a name I'll not soon forget. We trailed him for half a year. Oh, the pressure. Still, I don't think I was ever more alive than I was then. Those days were steamier than a bowl of hot gravy. Poor old Jake Marshall, though. Must have been going through hell. You mean because of his brother's death? They were close, those two. After Neil died, something took over Jake. Became obsessed. Seeing Jake like that made her all the more desperate. Her? Lana Skye. My sister? The best of the best were put on that SL9 case. Of course, they were led by that legendary duo. Lana and Chief Gant. That legendary pair was the reason we were able to keep up our investigation. That's why we were so shocked over how it turned out. You mean, with the forging of the evidence? Don't get me wrong, Joe Dark got what he deserved. Still, it was obvious the evidence produced in court was being manipulated. Items our team never found would suddenly appear, while other items were kept secret. But you don't have proof? You don't have proof anything was illegal was done. I'm proof enough of what happened. After that case, all of us save Goodman were relieved of our duties. Most without even so much an explanation. Then Lana Skye transferred to the prosecutor's office and became a chief prosecutor. Lana always wanted to be a prosecutor. Nothing's quite as simple as it appears. Huh? Lana Skye was simply being used as a pawn. That's my take on the matter. She was being used. Damon Gant and Lana Skye. Gant led the investigation with Lana second in command. They were the best. They solved all kinds of cases together, didn't they? Damon Gant's magnetism in particular was almost unreal. His magnetism? By that I mean his ability to attract evidence. He produced the most incredible evidence in the cases he handled. Incredible evidence? You mean, oh yes, there were rumors about him even back then. No one dared confront him though. I take it she's talking about forged evidence. Back then, everyone looked up to Lana. All the detectives wanted to be like her. Really? Oh yes. Myself included. I was a fool, really. She hated anything crooked and always watched out for the other detectives. That's why she was so concerned for Jake. Mr. Marshall. When Jake's brother was murdered, she felt as if she had lost her own brother. Whew. Oh, let me stretch for a second. A little sediment. Sediment? Sediment? Sedentary. Yeah, when you sit around too long.
Yeah, sedentary.
Wasn't for her, I don't think Jake would ever have recovered from his shock. She fixed him, and by fixed him, made him worse. That's what makes it all the more infuriating. Miss Starr. That's why I'll never be able to forgive her. Why did she have to turn so cold after that? Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office 2 years ago, didn't she? Yes, thanks to Chief Gant's powerful influence. Chief? That's right. Having solved the SL9 case, his position as chief was secured. There was only one thing left for him to control, and then no one could stand in his way. The prosecutor's office. Makes sense. What, you mean that's why Lana was transferred? He could control the chief prosecutor. He could control the prosecutor's office. That must have been his goal all along. But how could he control Lana? I don't know, but one thing's for sure. Ever since that case ended, she's never been the same. It's only logical to conclude there must have been a reason for her change. At last. I'm finally getting close to the bottom of this argument. Ooh, jeez. Gotta get my midnight second wind.
Yeah, you'll get there. I'm kind of tired as well.
It happens. I always get tired around this time. I'm usually most tired around 10 o'clock, though I've been doing pretty good at powering through that during these streams. Though I am just reading, and reading puts me to sleep. Thank you, Miss Starr. You listen to me, rookie. It takes more than just ingredients to create fine cuisine. I hope you turn out to be a better chef than I've ever been. Nope. The only thing I can give you now is a poppy seed rice set. Talk about cheap. Eat this and maybe you'll be able to tell black from white in court tomorrow. Okay. God, yeah. Weird that I have to go there to get the criminal affairs department now, but whatever. Oh, you're back. You're still here? I gotta make 150 copies of these files. Brewing coffee, copying files. I'm turning into a regular DJ.
Huh?
You're a DJ as well? If I'm not mistaken, I think he means desk jockey. Oh, that DJ. I gotta admire your persistency, but my answer's still no. I'm not letting you in the chief's office, period. It'd be my neck on the line. That office is the last crime scene of the SL9 incident. I have to take a look in there. Gotta be something we can do to make the detective change his mind. Nope. Due to recent events, I hereby announce my resignation as public prosecutor. He really wrote a resignation letter. Wow. Even when resigning, Mr. Edgeworth is cool and concise. Still, it wasn't his fault. Someone had to be held responsible. That's how it is in the grown-up world. Yeah, but that responsibility means nothing if he just quits. Well, not everyone sees it that way. To truly take responsibility, you should have to work the rest of your life for no pay. That's one tough grown-up world there. Nope. Can't rotate it. Nothing on the back. Okay. Oh, wait. I was doing something. Nope, I did it again. What's this crumpled up piece of paper? Oh, shit. No way. Mr. Edgeworth can't be serious. Is he ever not serious? I can't believe they've pushed him on this far. Mr. Edgeworth really feels responsible. When I first met him, I thought he was as cold as ice, too. But I know different now. He trusted us detectives to provide him with sound evidence. But we just betrayed him. Detective? That's it. I've made up my mind. Fuck it. Here, take my ID card. We can't do that if someone found out. They wouldn't let you off the hook with another lost item report. Oh my god, Emma. Look at me. It's no secret, Mama, I'm already out of the loop. After all, I'm friends with Mr. Edgeworth. Depending on how this case turns out, may already be as good as terminated. What? So at least let me do this. For Mr. Edgeworth's sake. King
Thanks,
Gumshoe. Alright, detective. Thank you. Alright, see ya.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown.
Empty is the head that wears the crown.
Empty is the head that wears the
no.
crown. There we
In this series, everyone's an idiot in this series. Not just
That's
Capcom
for you.
Himbos, bimbos, got them all.
Yeah.
Here goes Mr.
Capcom
Wright.
characters like just don't know what sex is though. It's like, you know, par for the course.
It's kind of the thing, yeah.
Oh, I was thinking how it's
But in theory,
there's the knight. I was also.
oh yeah, they only glanced over at that side.
Yeah.
But in theory, Edgeworth should fuck.
Yes, in theory. Like, so here's the thing: Apollo should be Edgeworth's son
Apollo should be Edgeworth's son.
because in Devil May Cry, he plays the red guy who's got the blue rival, and then there's the red, the blue son with the red shirt, right?
Mm-hmm.
In this game, he plays the blue guy, you have the red rival, and then Apollo has a red outfit and a blue tie. So it should just be Edgeworth's son.
Yeah. Checks out.
Yeah.
Irrefutable. We're in. If anyone finds us now, Detective Gumshoe's a goner. If that happens, I'm counting on you to bail me out. He fucking came with us.
He just
What? He didn't. Ah! Sorry. I thought you were a ghost. I didn't even know you could slap a ghost. Ah! Detective Gumshoe! What are you doing sneaking up on us like that? I wasn't sneaking. I was just worried something might go wrong. So I came here too. This is our fucking boy. Our guy. If you're here, then what's the point in giving us your ID card? Gumshoe's ID card. Crushed and rendered unusable in pocket. Hey, don't do that to my card! Phoenix, you madman. I hardly ever get a chance to come in here. So I figured I'd have a look around myself. Besides, we're all in this together now. You really do want to get it fired, don't you? Not if we're lucky. Now, come on, let's see what we can find out. Got a bad feeling about this. God. Well, you can see pretty far from 15 stories up.
That's really
If you were to drop that
tall.
suit of armor from here, at first the chief wanted to use stained glass for this window. Really? Why didn't he? They say he changed his mind because he wouldn't be able to see the view. Oh. Stained glass or not, it's a huge window. This is the real deal, isn't it? This armor and these weapons. Sure is, pal. The chief doesn't care for imitations. First the pipe organ, now this armor. Do you know how many taxpayers' dollars must have gone into this room? What, you mean we're paying for this? That's it. I'm not paying 1 cent of my taxes. You don't have any taxes to pay. Shh. Careful of what you say. Who knows? The chief may be hiding in this armor as we speak.
That'd be
I don't think he'd
fucking
fit in there.
hysterical.
Even if he did, he'd never be able to get back out. Cut it out. You guys don't know how scary that guy could be.
Oh, he's got a pagoda. Is
Yeah. This is safe, isn't it? Safe. That word is ripe with intrigue. Okay, if you say so. Everyone just wants to steal shit. It looks like a code needs to be entered in this panel to open.
you know what to do. You know what to do, Alex.
Here I go. Zoom in, enhance. Oh yeah. It's all good. Why is it a microwave? Bingo. What number did you enter? Whose birthday was that, pal? 777777777. The final ID card number on that record. What? The number of the mysterious executive officer who entered the room that day. You mean that ID number? I think your weapon. I think your one
I was
seven
about to
shot
say,
this time.
That was only 6 sevens.
This can only mean one thing. That's Chief Gant's ID number. Say, anyone care to look inside? I'm gonna look elsewhere real quick. Chief's organ sure is a sight to behold. Occasionally we hear him playing it from the criminal affairs department. Jesus. It's on the... That's on the 2nd floor, and this is the 15th floor of an entirely different building. When a detective screws up, the chief calls them to his office. Makes them listen to the organ for hours. What's so bad about that? Music soothes the soul. After that, he starts a boss fight with them. And then the
He
tower
just starts
crumbles and he turns into a pig.
He just starts fucking beating them.
And if you don't have a fishing net, or... Yeah, if you don't have a fairy net with you, whatever it is. I haven't played Ocarina of Time. The detective can't hear anything for days except for the ringing in their ears. So it's an instrument of punishment, literally. Aren't the chief's ears affected? I was literally just thinking that. He never listens to anyone anyway. That's besides the point. Actually... Desk. Wow, look at the size of Chief Gant's desk. Speaking of that, when we were here earlier... Oh, it's you two. Chief Gant. He put that paper he was reading on his desk. I wonder what he was reading. This looks like a list of evidence. A list of evidence. In most cases, the list runs twice as long as this, though. Hey, look at the case name. Huh? Cell 9 incident. I wonder what this is doing here. Hold on, detective. What did you just say? Said I wonder what... No, about evidence lists. Normally they're twice as long? That's right. I guess there wasn't a lot of evidence. Half-size list of evidence. A list of evidence. It seems too short. Most lists run twice as long.
It's the other half.
I was just thinking it was a copy, but yeah. What would the other half of the list be doing here? Yeah. I knew it. The chief must be hiding something about that case. It would appear so. Ripped in half. This part is all I've got. A list. Yep. Mr. Edgeworth had the other half of that list. What would this list be doing here? We better look a little more into this. Okay. Look at that giant window. Makes you want to crash through it and jump outside. This is the 15th floor. I know, I was just saying. Saying what? Ever since making detective, I've always dreamed about doing something like that. Note to self, Detective Gumshoe has a lot of dreams. So long as he doesn't go crashing through that window when he gets fired. Don't say that! These shelves are mostly empty. Lana must have cleaned them out when she transferred over to the prosecutor's office. There's a small picture frame on the left shelf. Hey, this is when Lana and I went to that theme park. This was Lana's desk. It sure is tidy. Lana's always been a meticulous cleaner. There's not even any dust on it. Look, looks like someone's still keeping it clean. Does Lana ever come back here? No. Chief Gant must still keep it clean in memory of their partnership. They were the stuff of legends. They were the stuff legends are made of. Does he keep it in memory? Does he keep it in memory of her or in memory of the crime? We gotta spray. We haven't sprayed yet. It was taken on that day 2 years ago. The day Joe Dark ran out of the questioning room and tried to kill Emma. After receiving his award trophy, Mr. Marshall took a picture here. Then he went along with Chief Gant to question Dark. I bet he never knew he'd be dead just a few hours later. Gee, you think? Alright, first things first. Nani?
Are we really doing this?
Look at the hand on that motherfucker. Good God! I don't know what
Why
this
is he
is.
even holding a weapon?
I know. I wonder what this is. It looks like someone drew some kind of sketch here.
This cave is swollen.
What is it? Did you find something? I can't make it out. I better keep quiet about it for now. Huh? Oh, no, it's nothing. Why are your eyes moving around like that, Mr. Wright? I better not forget about this picture. Good God, how could I? How could I ever?
Like, I guess that's not insane. Like, you might have someone draw what a witness was describing, right?
Right, but it's like specifically something on the back of an evidence piece of paper, right?
Yeah, it is kind
Why
of
would you
odd.
put it on the back of that? Is there any money in there? How much does he have stashed away? Look, it's a
$50 bill.
Ooh. A shard from a broken cup.
Oh, it's gonna be.
It's text!
It's a name, yeah.
Huh?
Gimme.
Somehow looks familiar. Where have I seen this before? There's something else in here, too. That seems important. Looks like a piece of leather cloth. This is a handprint, isn't it? Hey, I saw someone wearing a shirt like that once. Oh, Neil. Think the chief made up the design? I don't think so. Oh, well, it was just a thought. Is that it? This is all that was in the safe. Apparently so. It's empty now. Piece of cloth with a handprint on it. Shard from a broken cup. Like pieces of evidence. Yeah, but unless you can prove they have something to do with this case, afraid I can't just let you take them. After all, it's my neck on the line here. Great. Now I have to prove their relevancy to them. How are these two items related to SL9 incident? Come on. There's got to be something we could show the detective. Oops.
This is insane.
This is low. Whoa! This area must have been covered in blood. Is this from that incident? It must be. When Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered. A few years have passed, so the reaction's kind of dull. The murder really did take place here. Probably all we're getting.
Yeah.
Bro, but what about the cactus? Was the cactus the fucking murder weapon? Detective Gumshoe, could you have another look at this jar? I remember when the three of us put that back together. Ah, those were the days. It's kind of early to be nostalgic. Wasn't this jar a piece of evidence from that case? That's right. One of the shards had an SL9 incident sticker on it. Doesn't this ring any bells? You know, that fragment we just found? I mean, this one? That was in the safe? Yes, that one. That was in the safe. You can do it, Gumshoe. Yes. Yes. Now that you mention it, it's ringing a lot of bells. Let's see if it fits. Assemble fragments. Hey, let me see that shard. I'll take a crack at this. Go ahead, pal. Show us what a rookie like you can do. It's one piece. Yo.
Yo.
Here goes. No, it would be like this.
No.
No. Oh, yeah. I was looking at the
lid.
handle. Yeah, I was looking at the handle because I was thinking that. Yeah. No, it's just like that. No, it's not. There. It fits like a charm. That, of course, means Chief Gant willingly and knowingly hid a piece of this drawer in the safe.
But I bet if you... But I wonder if we spray this and we see the rest of the blood.
I don't know if
And
we're
it
allowed
does
to.
say something.
I don't know if we're allowed to spray it.
Yeah, I'll be curious.
In other words, he concealed a piece of evidence from the SL9 incident. But, hey guys, get a load of this. What is it? This piece you just attached. It's different from the others.
Dreaming.
It's a reddish line on it. A reddish line? That's blood. I don't get it. Why would Chief Gant hide this in his safe? Hey, look there. It's hard to make out, but there's a dark red stain there. It's so the lines on the left are the eyes, and then it's making the bird face.
What bird face?
You know, the right-facing chevron on the keyboard.
Sure.
Here, look in Discord. I'll just do it. Oh no, it's probably gonna. How do you do it again? You have to do the. I'm sorry. It's not the. It's. I don't think I could do it actually. Where is that key? Oh, there it is. You would do like that. The equal and then the
Sure.
yeah, that makes a duck face. Anyway. Looks like blood. This piece the chief has is different, though. The blood stains on the other pieces are just spots. This one's a line. That is odd. Can we check this again? Huh? This thing doesn't have a bottom. That's weird. I wonder which side is up. Better yet, what's the purpose of a bottomless jar? At least it doesn't collect dust inside, right? Yeah. I don't know. A desk on the other side of the room. Is that your sister's? Yes, that's where I was, waiting for Lana, on that day 2 years ago. Is anyone using it now? No, sir, this is entirely Chief Gant's office now. He practices a strict policy of preserving the crime scene. That's a strange reason to leave it there. He leaves it as a warning to everyone else. He wants us to always be alert. He told us himself at our New Year's party. Of course, he was pretty intoxicated at the time. Let's see. So, ever since Lana left, no one ever touches that desk? No one except Chief Gant. And the cleaning lady who's in here each morning. Still, 2 years have passed since that incident. There can't possibly be any clues remaining. Can I ask you something? Sure. You only came here to look around, right? Because it's one of the SL9 crime scenes. I mean, that's your only reason for coming here, isn't it? Why do you ask? You don't think... Nah, you wouldn't be... No. No, there's no way. Never mind. Don't worry about it. Okay, now then let's look around a bit more. Hey, hold on. Not so fast, buddy. Huh? What is it? When someone tells you don't worry about it, it's supposed to start bothering you, pal. You don't just let it go at don't let it go at all. At that. Okay, yeah. Sorry. This guy's starting to get on my nerves. Okay, so what's bothering you? You two don't think Chief Gant might be a suspect, do you? What? He's right, Mr. Wright. What do we think of him? I think he's a little sus. Let's finally come to this. What do I think of him? Perhaps it's best I don't divulge my feelings. Yet. There you go, ignoring me again. So I need to prove the connection to the other piece of cloth. Yes, the other piece of evidence.
Yeah, can we dust it? Because it's a handprint?
I'm just gonna show him a picture of... Alright, I won't be able to give you... So that's why I have to get it all out of my system now. Understand, don't you? Don't be so negative, detective. We do want you to share your information, though. Who am I fooling? I never had anything useful to share to begin with. Gotta stay positive. Nope. I don't know. I feel a lot better now that this jar is complete. But it only raises another question. What was a piece of it doing in the chief's safe? More importantly, why wasn't there any money in there? Isn't that what safes are for anyways? I have a feeling the outcome of tomorrow's trial might just hinge on this. Well... if I do have to present that again... or if I do need to... check out this sick jar I got. Okay, I think I can get nothing out of Lana. Like, even the picture with her in it, she won't talk. Okay. So we're going to underground parking lot and High Prosecutor's office and right, please. I'm the prosecutor on this case. You don't expect me to sit here and discuss it. Uh-oh, I don't know what to do. I don't want to sit here and present everything. Oh no. Okay, she said, alright. We've gotten all we can out of her.
Well, Lana might have something for us with our new evidence.
I gave it to her just now. She didn't care. I have to go here. There's department.
I feel like this ends with, like, Gant kicking us out of his office, right?
Yeah, I feel like I should be here. Okay. Hey, that's it. That's the King of Prosecutors award that Mr. Edgeworth got the other day. Okay.
He's already talked about this.
Yeah. Oh wait, no, she said something new.
Okay.
Oh yeah, everyone knows that. There was this dragon. Yeah, that's it, a dragon. He had this thing for shields, see? It's not exactly the version we heard. No, but this one sounds more exciting. Anyway, it's kind of a gory after that. I'll spare you the details. This knife belonged to the murderer, Joe Dark, right? You bet. If it wasn't for that piece of evidence, he wouldn't have been found guilty. The broken tip of the knife was found inside the victim's body. Ever since that case was solved, this knife's been in Detective Goodman's locker. There we go. So here's something weird. Clearly the knife being used in it, like that's plunged into his heart there is the knife we're talking about right now. However, I believe they stated the murder weapon was Edgeworth's knife. And I doubt they would have an oversight of this, so...
Yeah.
Not only that, but it was wrapped in Lana's scarf. What's even more mysterious is whether that's called a scarf or a muffler. Answer me that, pal.
It's true.
It's the ID card record, isn't it? Oh, yep. Only one left to investigate at 4:20 p.m. Victim Detective Goodman must have entered the evidence room along with someone else. Someone with an executive office number. We solved this. That's 17 too many. I might just have a hunch. Can we dust anything?
I feel like maybe we can. Like,
No, I would have to... I don't need to be in spray mode to do that, right? No.
Well, we didn't get the piece of leather, did we?
I know, and I'm trying to figure out how we get that. Like, okay, I've been studying up on those files. There's nothing wrong with Mr. Edgeworth's presentation. To think people are accusing him of injustice. I, for one, ain't buying it, pal. You're looking into the cage for Mr. Edgeworth? Yeah, it was a pretty big deal what was going on, you know. After all, a serial killer was on the loose, but Lana was pretty clear in her confession. She forged evidence in order to prove Joe Dark guilty. care about any of that. That's what the chief was reading before, isn't it? You know, when we first came in here, yeah, it looks like the right side of the form's been torn off. So Mr. Edgeworth list really only was only half of the whole thing. Something else is bugging me more than that. Take a look at the back of that form, pal. The back? I have. Do I need to again? No, probably not. God, why do I still have all this shit? Shit, I don't know. Well, maybe I need to go. I'm gonna turn this on just for the sake of it right now. On full. Skip. Nope. Nope. God, there's just so much. Like, I even tried to show her the vase. No, that wouldn't mean anything. Now, Angel's made it pretty clear she has nothing else to tell us, but still. I don't know what I need to do.
Good gumshoe.
Anything else to tell? Oh, did you look it up?
Yeah.
Nice.
Present
Okay.
the fingerprint kit.
Sure. Sure. Like you to have a look at this. I know what that is. You want to take some fingerprints. That's a great idea, detective. All right, go to town. Sheesh. What are you doing? Why are you sticking out your hand like that? Go ahead, take my fingerprints. It's not your fingerprints we want to take. Huh? Come on, this isn't the time for jokes. We're talking about that cloth we found in the safe. Oh, I knew that. The one with the handprint on it, right? Sheesh, where's your sense of humor? Alright. Thank you, Tommy. Yep. What are you, my mom? I don't have to be told a million times. Alright, let's get this over with. Looks like this one's gonna be our clearest print. Riveting gameplay right here. No, I'm not done yet. Oh, do I actually have to hit enter? What the fuck? Oh no, I'm sorry. E is blow. There you go.
Nice.
That's the sussy. It's sus.
Who is sus? I forget.
Fucking Emma.
Oh my god.
Hey Brad, take a look at this thumbprint. No, this fingerprint.
Yeah.
Do you see it?
The difference?
No. The symbol in the middle.
The Amogus?
The Amogus.
Mogus.
Yeah.
Sus.
Yeah,
Sus.
that really is.
Time to kill Emma.
Those among us.
Alright. No. How can this be? What are Emma's fingerprints doing here? Hey, you found a match. Whose fingerprints were they? Huh. Oh, it seems the prints are too old. They aren't clear enough to get a match. Oh, that's too bad. I thought they'd be Dark's prints. Psst. Hey, you, over here. What's going on here? What are the kids' prints doing inside the chief's safe? Don't ask me. Let's just keep this information from Emma for now. Maybe you should hold on to this. This guy's... Yeah, I was just thinking I needed to get something that would be like, oh yeah, that's definitely gonna be fucking... Clearly that's from Neil's jacket or something, but yeah, no, it's fucking... It was a handprint. Well, was I any help? Of course! Thanks to your ID card, we were able to get some hard evidence. Now that's not very kind, is it? In other words, if it wasn't for his ID card, we would have been useless. Isn't that right, you in the coat? Chief Gann! We didn't think you'd be back so soon. Fortunately, I'm a man who believes in signs. As I was walking to my meeting, I happened to look out a window and saw a stray dog run right into a pole. So then I thought of a certain detective. You mean me? Now then. I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you all to leave. Yes, sir. Sorry. Oh, you in the coat? Me, sir. Drop off your ID on the way out. You won't be needing it anymore. Sir. Now get out. Yes, sir. Be on our way too, then. Wait. You, the one without spiky hair. Don't go yet. Me, sir? I'd like a word with you. But, sir, I'm not a licensed scientific investigator yet. You with the spiky hair, you're free to go. Mr. Wright! Emma, just leave. You don't have to stay with him.
Wait, he's...
Like, just fucking walk out.
You're not my dad. Like, just go.
Look, pal, if I've told you once, I've told you 1,000 times. Chief's office is off limits. But no, you just had to go sneaking in there like that, didn't you? I thought you said you didn't care anymore if you were fired. Yeah, but if I knew it'd be like this, I never would have said it. Now that I've seen the evidence Chief Gant was hiding in his office, I think I'm finally starting to get the picture. Why was she kept eerily silent about it all this time? Anyway, you listening to me? I'm gonna try to smooth things over with the Chief again. Later, pal. After that, I heard from Emma. She said the police wanted to ask her some questions, so she'll be busy for the rest of the day. See, the Chief asked Emma to come in for questioning. No use thinking about it. Tomorrow's the final day in court. I'm committed to doing everything I can to defend you, which is why I'm here. But I've already told you all I can. What you've told me over these past couple of days, It's absolutely nothing. Not a single useful thing. Really. I believe I did mention something quite important. Something I told you right at the beginning. I said that I was the one who stabbed Detective Goodman. You know, I think I finally figured it out. I know who it is that's lurking behind your words. Mia did a good job mentoring you. I'm rather jealous. Huh? Seems Edgeworth was right. Edgeworth? Once you're convinced you know something, no one can persuade you otherwise. Thick-headed is the term he used, I believe. Now's my chance to get her to tell me the rest of the story.
I'd just like to say really quick.
Yeah.
I'm sure Phoenix had an existential crisis when he realized he could be categorized along with Gumshoe.
Yeah.
Because he says, because Gant said, you without the spiky hair, you stay. Because the other two had spiky hair.
True. I have to admit, I was more than a little perplexed at first. You insisted you did it. I also like this touch where she's constantly looking away.
Yeah, because she's lying.
Yeah, like, this is a great
whatever,
touch.
yeah.
Like, she can't face it.
Yeah.
You insisted you did it, yet there was no incriminating evidence. That's when it hit me. It's not that you're unwilling to tell the truth, it's that you're incapable of doing so because of a certain individual. What an intriguing notion. Certain individual, you say. Do you think I'm protecting this person? Protecting? No, I think afraid of is more like it. Ooh, you didn't like that one. If I'm not mistaken, the person in question may have persuaded you to silence. For argument's sake, Mr. Wright, whom may I ask is this person you're speaking of? The one I'm supposedly so frightened of. What is this person's name?
Gumshoe.
Mike Meekins!
Weekends. The mastermind.
Well, Miss Sky. Mr. Wright. You are addressing the chief prosecutor. Do not forget your place. I take it she's still not ready to spill the beans? My apologies. Could you please tell me a bit more about what you think you know? We were partners until 2 years ago. I respected him as a detective. Assuming he is respectable, then tell me something. Why would he try to hide his crimes? His crimes? Both you and Edgeworth will be brought before a board of inquiry for what you did. Specifically, hiding and forging evidence. Of course, these are serious offenses. Why is it, though, that Chief Gant's name was never mentioned? Chief Gant? Edgeworth didn't know the truth behind the forgery. The only party who could have tampered with the evidence was... me. No. I had access because I was second in command of that investigation. Yes, you, but also another, Damon Gant. You intend to accuse Chief Gant. You'll need more than just words. Show me proof that Gant falsified evidence in that case.
Evidence list. Yeah.
I just found this in a safe in Chief's office. This jar piece, this piece of cloth. Okay, I'm glad it could have been multiple things.
Just anything.
Yeah, this jar piece and this piece of cloth. Do you know what these are? They're pieces of evidence from the SL9 incident. The person concealing evidence was none other than Chief Gant himself. Now tell me, why are you taking the blame for him? Shame, Mr. Wright. As you surmised, you cannot disobey the Chief's orders. Even if it means being found guilty for murder. Why not? Come now, Mr. Wright. You can't possibly expect me to be able to tell you that. 3 days ago, I had no choice but to cooperate. In the murder of Detective Goodman? Or perhaps I should say, follow orders. Yes, That's more accurate than cooperate. Although I can't tell you the details, I can say that I was given an order that day. I need you to dispose of Goodman's body.
Damn.
You'll find it inside the trunk of Miles Edgeworth's car. This is a damning testimony. Like, just as I suspected, despite what everyone believes, you were not the one who murdered Detective Goodman. Correct. I was trying to take the body out of Edgeworth's car. Trunk's lock was broken, and I discovered that murder weapon while inspecting the body.
Then she hid it and put Edgeworth's knife in, or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that's funky they were showing this particular shot then.
Yeah. You remember the thing
well,
about
hold on, let me
beheaded-
actually check
yeah.
something though. Oh, we didn't get a copy of that photo, huh? Probably because they didn't want us noticing that?
Yeah.
Huh. You mean Edgeworth's knife? No. When I found the body, this was the knife stuck in it. Knife from SL9 incident, serial killer Joe Dark's knife. I couldn't just leave that knife in him. So I took it out and stabbed him with another knife. That would be Edgeworth's knife. Right. Even though he was already dead, hands were shaking at the thought of stabbing him. That's why I ended up cutting my hand. Still kind of weird, but sure. That is the reason for the bandage on your right hand? Yes. Seems that I got blood on the victim's shoe as well. Yeah. Then saw me just as I plunged the knife in. Star, huh? You know, in that shot, there wasn't any blood on her coat, so yeah. It was just her coat. And it just got blood on it when she was either wiping her hand off. You know, I think she's actually... No, yeah. Why did you need to hide Dark's knife so badly? It took a lot to work. It took a lot of work to finally close the Dark case 2 years ago. It was over with. I didn't ever want it to be opened again. My intent was to prevent that by whatever means possible. So, you hid Dark's knife? The weapon used to stab the detective was evidence in the Joe Dark case.
Look at you.
If word got out, which it would, the reporters would have a field day with that. So you wrapped the knife in your scarf and hid it. Oh, you know what? It was a different picture. This is a different image because there was a cloth sticking out in the... I'm gonna switch here in a second. Right. Then I called my sister. To tell her what happened and to ask her to hide the knife that was inside my muffler. You bitch. You asked Emma? I didn't want anyone on the force to know about this. That would explain why Emma is so confident about Lana's innocence. Speaking of phone calls, I had a bad feeling about one of them that day. Bad feeling? The truth is, after I received those orders from Chief Gant, the first thing I did was make a phone call. A phone call to Patrolman Jake Marshall.
Go beat up Meekins.
Yeah.
Go beat up Meekins.
Marshall, why on earth would you call him? The lead investigator for the SL9 incident had been murdered. I wanted that fact to be kept hidden and I needed help. He was the only other person I could trust. Or at least I thought I could trust him at the time. However, it seems that after I spoke to him, he went off on an escapade of his own. Oh, you mean, not wanting the case to die, he decided to take things into his own hands. He disguised himself as Detective Goodman and tried to steal the evidence. He had already stolen the ID card, but But it seems he still hadn't made up his mind to break into the evidence room. So it was literally just a coincidence it happened at the same time. After my phone call, any remaining doubts he had must have disappeared. So your phone call caused the incident in the evidence room. I'm afraid that's all I can tell you. Lana, you've earned my respect, Mr. Wright. Both as a defense attorney and an investigator. Please. Don't pursue this any further in court tomorrow. Tomorrow's trial. There's only one way to drive off Lana's demons. I've got to get to the bottom of everything. Detective Goodman's real murder. And what went down in the chief's office 2 years ago.
Woo!
God damn.
Sheesh.
God damn. You know, I'll say though, this game does a pretty good job at keeping the segments the same length. Like every investigation's about an hour and a half, and every trial's about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Which is nice. So that's at least good that I'll probably be able to measure it out that way if need be. But we're not done yet. The grand finale is tomorrow, clearly.
Yeah.
And boy, am I curious how this one's gonna turn out. Because there's still a lot of questions. Like, obviously we have a good idea, but we need to suss out the details on what exactly happened.
Most of SL9 is still a mystery.
Yeah, and
as well as the particular details of Goodman's murder.
Yeah, as well as those particular details. Though at this point, we can kind of just assume that, well, it was the cactus, remember?
Right, like, I guess it was the fucking cactus.
It was the fucking cactus, dude. Stabbed him through the heart on the cactus. He just grabbed him like... He just... Instead of a backbreaker, he just fucking dropped him over the cactus, I guess. I can believe it. Yeah, he powerbombed him on the cactus, yeah. Fuck. But yeah, the two murders at the same time. That's the most curious thing right now, that there actually were two murders that occurred. And the fucking screwdriver, dude. The fucking screwdriver. Fucking screwdriver. Can't wait. Well, I don't know what you're all doing tomorrow, but I know what I am. Same thing.
Yeah.
Same time.
Same time.
Same shit.
Same bad channel.
Yep. All right. It's gonna be 10 episodes for this one fucking game. All right. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Goodbye.